Comedy. Y bienvenidos
de Manolo Comedy.
Bienvenidos a The Manolo Pod número 19. Estamos aquí nada más y nada menos en este episodio muy importante, muy especial, con nada más y nada menos que el señor Randy Madden. Hola Randy Madden, ¿cómo estás?
Hola,
el mexicano más güero que van a conocer.
Sí, yo que macho, pero yo hablo español.
¿Cómo has estado, Randy? Cuéntanos, ¿qué dice la vida?
Todo bien.
¿Todo bien?
Sí.
¿Cómo te la estás pasando acá en California? ¿Cómo?
Sí, pero yo estoy como en Nueva Jersey.
¿De dónde eres? ¿De Oaxaca o de dónde?
¿Me español?
¿Tú de dónde eres? ¿De
yo hablo español porque antes yo trabajaba para los árboles.
Trabajaba para los árboles.
Y yo clamo estar la palma, ¿cómo se dice? Palmos.
Las palmeras.
Las palmeras,
Ahorita
sí.
vamos a ver todo eso. Randy Madden es un músico. Randy Madden es un youtuber. He's a musician. He's a YouTuber.
Sí.
Y Randy, no solo estás tú. No solo estás tú aquí, papá. Not only you, my friend. We have none other than the Robertland podcast crew with none other than Mr. Robert Thompson.
Up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's great to be here again.
Musician.
Sí, solamente hablo español.
What was it?
Oh, lo siento, se español poquito.
Eres músico.
Yeah.
Genio. How do you say it?
Yeah, comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah.
No, but when you
Musician,
do your intro. Yeah.
Comedian. Fast food, all I do.
Say it in Spanish, though.
God, I say.
Músico.
Yeah, musical.
Comediante.
Comediante.
Comediante. Amador de pene oscuro.
Amador
de pene oscuro.
El scooter.
Es scooter.
Razor scooter.
And not only that, but
that's good.
Last but not least, we got our man, Rossco Soletrain.
Rossco Soletrain.
Hey, ira. Pero, okay, no, yo no dice his last name. No.
Dilo. Soletrain in Spanish or what?
Nah, it's not Soletrain. Pero no dice.
He doesn't want to say it.
Nadie sabe el last name de él.
Oh, okay.
¿Está bien o no?
Yeah.
¡Fernández!
Estamos con Rossco Fernández.
Sí.
Soletrain, el tren del alma. Soletrain, that's the soul train of soul, right?
Yeah. Choo.
And the alma. Baby. And it's funny that we're talking about souls right now because we're doing a special, as you can see the decoration here. It's Robertland Podcast Studios. That it's a Halloween edition.
It's Hollywood y Halloween.
Halloween at Hollywood edition.
Well, hey, man,
Right?
welcome, dude. You need to get on the hayride pronto.
¿Cómo se dice scared en español otra vez?
Asustado.
¿Asustado?
Fantasma.
¿Quién es asustado ahorita? ¿Tú?
Yeah, estás asustado.
And
in Spanish it's bo, because it's like a bunch of O's, so it's bo. So yeah, Robert, what was the theme? That
we were talking about,
or you guys suggested?
Well,
I didn't suggest shit.
We were talking about
Robert suggested.
Well, you had a lot of, I think it's fascinating to hear about like other cultures, like their ghost stories, like, and we could share, like growing up in California, growing up in Mexico. Like what stories you had, like what was the folklore, Halloween. That's just very interesting. Because Day of the Dead is big, right? Dia de los
Muertos, sí.
Yeah,
Chance tu muerto con el Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos. It's you probably know a little bit about Dia de los Muertos.
Man.
I don't know why I think.
I saw Coco.
Oh, you saw Coco? Yeah, but that's actually true.
Yeah.
We make like shrines, like altars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
For let's say your dead grandma, right? Right here, maybe in your living room or in your kitchen, you do like a shrine. You put pictures, and then you put whatever she liked, right? Like if your dad, you'll put like a fucking tequila bottle because he was an alcoholic. You'll put a deck of cards because he was a fucking gambler.
In Mexico, they don't.
Big old dildo because he likes.
Yes.
¿Cómo se dice otra vez scared en español?
Asustado.
Sí, muerto is no es estado in Mexico. It's more like celebrated. Yeah. It's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
I guess it's like culturally.
It's different than the States, though.
Well, yeah,
in the
States, right here it's like horror, right?
Yeah.
What, Halloween?
No, death.
Death?
They celebrate it in Mexico and stuff. They don't really. Well, it's not really.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. That maybe it's like our way to
cope.
To cope. Exactly. Like when you're frightened and you start smiling, that's the way I see it. When you're frightened, but you're actually smiling like, no, I'm not scared. I'm not nervous. We do shrines. We try to celebrate it.
Yeah.
But we're all scared. Nobody wants to die.
Well, it's like I've heard this on a podcast before, but it's our human instinct to like to survive no matter what. And like it's like a weird sick joke that you know that you're going to die and nobody's going to make it out alive, but your instinct is to stay alive as long as you possibly can. Mm-hmm. So it's a weird like dichotomy. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I remember because when I was a kid, I loved horror movies, and sometimes it would scare the shit out of me.
As a kid, you still love horror.
I still
movies.
love horror flicks, but growing up, I had friends that would make little movies, and we made this parody of just horror movies called Salesman from Hell, and it was just ridiculous shit to make. I feel like that's a way to like also stay alive, like when you're watching a scary movie or going through something scary, just to joke and cope with it that way. Just make it a joke.
You sometimes feel alive, right? When you're scared. I guess.
Yeah, no, it's true. You definitely do, and it's like those moments of being scared are tied so close to our like, and they're so hardwired in our brain because it's like what keeps us to it's like survival instinct. So like all those memories of being a kid and being scared, they stick out like a sore thumb. I remember going on the Haunted Mansion as a little boy and scared the living fuck out of me.
Here?
Disneyland, yeah.
And yeah.
I got a good question for everyone.
Yeah.
That we can kind of go around the table.
Well,
what is the first scary movie that you remember watching as a kid, or
I remember clearly.
You do?
If I could
Me
go
too.
first.
Yeah.
So I was. I want to say 7 or 8. It was actually here in LA. I got an uncle and cousins here or whatever. So I was 7 or 8 or whatever. And my sister told me, hey, me and my cousins, we got a little surprise for you. So we came into the bedroom because the parents weren't around. It was all dark. They closed the door and they were watching The Exorcist.
Oh my God.
The Exorcist. And no, I don't want to watch that. No, you're going to watch this. I don't want to watch it while you're a pussy or whatever. Okay, not a pussy or whatever. And watching the girl turning her head around and shit. That's why, remember last time we were talking about favorite movies?
Yes.
To me, that it doesn't scare me no more. I watch it and I love it. I love the film, the way it is written, all that shit. But it still touches those fibers to me.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it really was written as like a drama. So it's meant to be like a real thing. So I could totally see that scaring the living fuck out of you. I remember the first scary movie that I saw, my neighbors had a video store growing up, and they would let my parents basically take whatever they wanted. And so my dad bought through them that double VCR with the recorder, like you could record on one and basically freaking
like bootleg
tapes. So he was bootlegging fucking tapes like you wouldn't believe.
Whoa.
I remember as a kid thinking that the fucking cops were going to come after us because we were bootlegging tapes.
Because in the beginning of the movies,
Yeah,
they
the
always
FBI warning.
FBI shit.
Yeah.
So my dad wasn't selling any of these tapes. He was just like basically just doing it for me. I mean, I don't think he really watched them. I did.
Just for you to have them.
Just so I could have
save
them.
money too. I mean, shit.
Well, yeah, and
renting those over and over.
Right, right. So I watched on repeat constantly, and I remember it. Alien,
and that was the first movie you ever saw horror.
Yeah, Alien.
Is Alien a horror?
Oh yeah, big time sci-fi horror. Yeah,
I remember it was rated R, and I couldn't go. I wanted to go, and I couldn't go.
Alien,
sci-fi, but I didn't know.
It's sci-fi horror. Yeah. Alien, Aliens, and then after that was The Lost Boys. Those are the first 3.
That was horror also, right?
It was more of like a adventure. Horror. I would say it's adventure horror,
but it had that rated R though.
No, I think
Lost Boys
was PG-13 maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was rated R.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
But you were younger than 13.
I was probably 2 or 3 years old, dude. I remember when my parents realized that I could work the VCR, and they were like, "Oh shit, like he's working the VCR." So I was watching whatever the fuck was around. And Alien was that movie.
I was watching like the Cinemax and I was taping it, but that's not the story.
Man, squirting it out when
That's
you're
what I
just.
was watching.
You mean taping it? Is that a slang?
Hello, yeah.
I was taping it.
No.
He was recording them. Shabalaba.
For me, I think. I watched Aliens. There's some of those movies that I watched at a very young age that I loved, and it's
But your
so
first
crazy.
one? Do you remember your first one?
Well, I can't tell you that, but I know that I remember one of the first experiences or something in a movie that really terrified me. Not necessarily was a horror movie, but Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Large Marge. Was
in that whole sequence where he's dreaming.
Yeah.
That was really scary.
Yeah. And
Wait a minute. Not when he was dreaming. He wasn't dreaming when he went into the.
No, there was that one segment when he was dreaming.
But he's talking about the incident
Large
where
Marge
he was in a truck.
Yeah, I know that. I know that
other
as well.
elements. The movie, the clown. The
clown was the dream.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
The nightmare that was.
And
So
then
that
when
was
Large
one-
Marge is like, blah, that fucking
Yeah.
Is Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Pee-wee's Big Top Adventure, is that even something?
Yes, it is. Big Top Pee-wee. Yeah.
That's the sequel. Yeah.
Which one's the one that there's this chubby kid and he goes into a magic store and he starts buying like magic trick stuff? Pee-wee.
That was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but it wasn't a chubby kid. It was Pee-wee. He went in there, and it was an older guy that was like showing him the magic tricks.
And I got like some memories of something black, like a black liquid.
Yeah, there was that that squidting or shit that he put in his mouth. And it just was like fucking squirting immense amounts of black ink.
I don't know.
That movie works so well still.
Or was it black gum? Is what it was?
Yeah, it was like
black gum.
Black gum they chewed.
Yeah.
And he gave it to that fat kid.
that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Francis.
right?
Francis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Francis. Francis. Yeah.
Oh shit!
So that was one of the first movies that scared the shit out of me that I remember.
Huh.
Okay, well, I don't know anything. They're not pulling it up. I'm looking up, the Lost Boys rating, but they're not saying anything about it. But I didn't know this, that the Lost in the Shadows, the Lost Boys soundtrack, the song, was performed and written by Lou Gramm, who was the singer of Foreigner. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It's
Anyway, music. I don't know what the hell
Is that from the
Bangers.
80s or 90s? The
80s.
Lost Boys.
80s. What did it say?
That's
87?
fucking one of the Feldmans, right? Or both? Both Feldmans, right?
Well, I think there's only one.
Corey's, I'm sorry.
Both
Yeah.
Corey's. Yeah.
Lost
Heyman, Feldman.
Boys was.
I love that movie.
Yeah, but Corey Haim died, right?
He died,
Overdose
yeah.
or something like that?
I think it was an overdose. Yeah, he was not that old either.
Yeah, he was like
Sad.
not
Yeah.
even 40.
Corey Haim was in it. Diana, who cares? We're not going to go through the
Or he was
list.
But-
40.
Keith Sutherland was in it.
Kiefer, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiefer, yeah, he was like
He's
the main vampire, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alex Winter. Okay,
And
so,
then there's this buff guy with a saxophone.
Saxophone. Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit?
Yeah,
Of course.
he like still like reps that movie hardcore.
The sax guy?
Yeah, and then he was in a band with another ripped guy from I can't remember what band he
Also,
was.
that's a band. That's an actual band.
the guy was a saxophone
yeah, he was
player.
a saxophone player. Yeah,
And someone, I guess the director or somebody
Let's bring that dude.
knew him or something, and that's why he came in to the fold.
who was it? Was it Ozzy's guitar player or somebody's guitar player that was extremely jacked? Alice Cooper's guitar player, who looked like
Jacked?
fucking Rambo.
Was
I'm
that-
dead fucking serious. There was another.
maybe.
There was like, and they were friends.
Zach Wilde.
No, it was not Zach Wilde. There's a guitar player. I want to say he was Alice Cooper's guitar player, but he was fucking jacked. And he looked, and it was like the same time period. And somebody asked, like, "Oh, did you know this other bodybuilding looking fucking guy, the guitar player for Alice Cooper?" And the guy's like, "Yeah," because I watched a documentary or an interview with the buff sax player from I Still Believe You from Lost Boys.
So you wouldn't think about this, and I'm kind of cutting you guys off because I want to get to my story.
Yeah, in Spanish, please.
En español solamente.
I'm joking.
I think you're not gonna say this is horror, but I don't care. I guess scary movie for me. It's kind of like a toss up, right? When I think I was 3 years old and I saw Gremlins for the first time.
Gremlins. Hell yeah.
Gremlins to me was horror. It scared the living shit out of me with those green monsters and stuff. So when I was a kid, I think that's my first.
Oh, yeah.
Gremlins.
What
That's-
is Gremlins is not a horror film.
well,
It's like, yeah. I mean,
it's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
To me, it's a
shit.
Christmas movie. Yeah, it's like the best. To me, Gremlins is the best Christmas movie that's ever happened.
Better than Die Hard.
Better than Die Hard. Yeah.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie though?
Yeah, I would say Die Hard's a Christmas movie as well.
Well, Bruce Willis says it's a Bruce Willis movie.
But also, I guess because I was so
He said
young.
Pulp
Shout out
Fiction was
to
a-
Connor McSpadden writing that joke.
I was so young that was scary to me. But then also I was so young and I saw Ghostbusters. Now that's not a horror film, but still.
Well,
But I can see how a 3-year-old
Dude,
would get scared.
but the thing is like these movies in particular that you just mentioned, like they were a product of the 80s where these filmmakers were like, they loved horror movies.
Yes,
Steven
yes.
Spielberg always wanted to
Yes.
direct horror movies.
yes.
In fact, I heard that didn't he direct like
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
He wrote
no,
it.
he wrote it.
Well,
yeah.
it's weird because
They're coming out with a new Poltergeist.
He was a
I hope
producer.
it's good.
He was a producer in that movie.
Well, no, he wrote. It's one of the only movies that he only wrote.
Oh, okay.
But people, half the cast say it was really him that directed
Yeah.
it. half the cast say it was Toby Hooper, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Right.
guy.
I
I have a
think
feeling it was
Steven-
That's
probably
a great
both.
movie.
I don't think Steven Spielberg wanted to say he directed.
Right.
It. I think that was the
right.
thing. 'Cause it
'Cause,
was
I mean,
so-
think about Steven Spielberg starting with, or not starting, but doing Jaws.
Dude,
like
but-
he was in a lot of respects.
That's a horror movie, right?
It's a horror movie,
Absolutely.
and I think that Steven Spielberg, realistically, he wanted to make a horror movie, like a straight up
Yeah.
horror movie. It would probably be one of the best horror movies ever made.
He's always had a good knack for horror. I mean,
Yeah.
Duel,
Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity. He added the ending and stuff to that movie. He helped that movie get made. But you're saying Duel.
So check this out. I'll just kind of go into a tangent real quick. So the movie Duel was a guy who was a salesman, and he was driving a car, and he cut off a trucker, and the trucker was pissed off.
Have you seen it before?
No, never even heard
Duel
of it.
is about a truck that basically stalks a guy who's driving around the country.
Got a
And
question. Do you see the driver in the movie? or
Never
no?
see the driver.
Of course,
you only
yeah.
see the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, you only see the truck, and it was based off of like the old Christine movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay,
Stephen
so,
King.
Yeah, was that also Stephen?
I think he wrote
Stephen
King.
Stephen
King. Yeah.
Okay, so Steven Spielberg, he did Duel, and some of it was filmed actually in Pasadena on the scariest highway in the world, which is that that
The
highway.
5? No.
No, it's not the 5, but anyway, the 405.
Okay.
No, but so from Duel came Jaws.
Oh.
But Jaws was
Makes
a book,
sense.
and it was a book based on a shark that actually bit off a guy's leg off the coast of New Jersey, and they pulled him into the shore, and he died in the hotel. And that shark, which actually was a bull shark, wasn't a great white, it was able to swim in the ocean with salt water and in canals that were very low salt content. And fishermen were getting eaten, and bitten alive by the shark, and they caught it. And the book Jaws then became the movie Jaws.
Okay, so then Jaws, the movie, was an adaptation of a book, not written by Stephen King?
Not written by Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg, I'm sorry? Yeah?
Correct.
Okay, so it's an adaptation. I thought it was a full creation of...
Absolutely not.
Steven Spielberg.
So Duel was a horror movie, so to speak, by Steven Spielberg. Then came Jaws, but Jaws was a book back in the day.
Yeah.
And he took that book, and instead of making it a bull shark, because bull sharks don't look that scary, he made it into a great white. ¿Cómo se dice great white en español?
Ah, shit, I don't even know. I don't even know.
But that movie,
Grande
Blanca?
Blanca.
Great white.
Blanca grande.
Sí, gran blanco. But they have a name in Spanish, but I don't know
It's
which
pretty
one would it be. But they have a specific name for those sharks.
So yours was Exorcist.
Exorcist,
Yours
yeah.
was Aliens. Yours was Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It's not even a. It's like
know
not a
about
horror movie
horror.
at all.
You got scared.
It scared you, but it's definitely not.
no,
a
I
horror
Pick another
movie.
one. Just
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
straight
that's that.
horror.
Yeah, let's give us a
dude,
horror.
I don't Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aliens.
So you were talking about a movie that scared you as a kid.
I watched all that stuff. I mean, I was thinking of early memories, like you said, first horror movie of something that scared me, because I can't tell you what the first horror movie was. It might have been Aliens,
Probably.
or, which is sci-fi horror or whatever. But I watched Exorcist. I went Halloween. Halloween might have been the first horror movie.
Are those even scary? Do you guys think?
Fuck yeah! When they
Halloween?
came
Yeah.
out, it's all context. A lot of it,
All those movies scared the fuck out of me growing up.
I got something else. So I like movies, scary movies in particular, that it's the entity coming after you, like it's a monster or a demon or something like that. Like I guess Jaws, is shark was kind of like a demonized shark, wanted to fucking eat people, right?
Yeah.
But when they start, this is what you guys. I want to. Maybe we can have a little debate here, right? Because we're talking about movies all of a sudden.
I like it. I like talking about horror movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't like it when they take the demon aspect out of the character and make them humanized.
I agree.
Oh, it makes it so less
Yes.
scary.
So
For the
here's that
most
makes it so
part.
less scary for me. So Michael Myers was a demon. Okay, he was a kid that this cult turned into a demon, just like Freddy Krueger.
They burned them, right?
Well, the people burned him,
Yeah.
but the devil and the demons said, "We can save your soul, and you can get these people back in their dreams, but you have to sell your soul to the devil."
Okay.
So Robert Englund or Freddy Krueger, what was his name in the actual Freddy Krueger?
Freddy
Freddy
Krueger.
Krueger,
Yeah. He turned into a demon and haunted kids in their sleep.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Myers was a demon. He was a child that a cult turned into a demon. I don't know why they possessed him and made him into this evil person, right? Well, then the whole time he was the shape or the shadow or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
And you could not kill the boogeyman. Okay? He was a demon.
Okay, yeah, I get what
You
you're saying.
can't kill the guy because he's not a guy. He's not human. You can't kill the boogeyman, which was why it was so frightening. Because you never, holy shit, like you can't kill this thing. It's a demon.
Also, Jason, right?
Yeah. Well, Jason was
Jason
a,
as well. He was a
Jason-
boy, but I
Jason-
mean, he like
But he comes
emerged
back
out
at
of
the
the
end,
lake.
right?
Yeah.
Jason was a boy that I
But he
don't
was
know.
dead. He emerged out of the lake. So
Somehow he came back to life, right? So he was a demon as well. He wasn't human,
Yeah.
and he can keep coming back. But let's go into it. When Rob Zombie took over and
gonna
started
talk about
filming,
this.
here we go. He started filming Halloween.
he did his 2 movies.
Yes, he turned Michael Myers into a human.
A tortured soul,
A
tortured boy.
boy.
Oh,
And I didn't
okay.
like that because it was a product of his upbringing, okay? So his mother was a stripper, his dad was a drunk, his dad beat the mother, yada yada
Treated
yada.
everybody like shit.
Treated everyone shit. The kid turned into a psycho, was killing cats in the woods, yada yada, but he was a kid. And then they put him in a psych ward because he was a little psychotic but he's a man, he's a boy, he's a human. He's not a demon.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Rob Zombie took that element out of it, and I was like,
Why do you think
ruined it.
he did that?
I can tell you why. I mean, he was just trying to do something
He
different.
was trying to do something different.
And like at this point in time, Halloween had been kind of like after H2O it was kind of like, okay, where are we going to take this franchise now? And then Rob Zombie, they're like, ooh, you know how to do horror
Let's
movies.
reinvent the boogeyman.
No,
Redo
you know, let's do something different and change it up, and like I'll give him a backstory. And there wasn't like origin stories at that point in time were becoming. There was more and more origin stories that were happening. Now, like granted, like most of them failed miserably, like Wolverine and fucking shit like that. But he was just trying to do that, and I think that if you watch those Halloween movies, I personally like both of them for what they are.
The Rob Zombie movies?
Yeah, I like
He's
them.
got 2. I didn't even know that.
So Rob Zombie is a filmmaker. I feel like if he was given more of a budget and he was given more power as a filmmaker, I do think that a lot of his stuff would turn out better. Now, he doesn't. Every movie Rob Zombie's made is not my favorite movie. However, I really do enjoy a lot of his flicks. House of a Thousand Corpses. Whatever you want to say about it, I fucking thoroughly enjoyed it.
Is the movie great?
I loved it. Devil's Rejects. Devil's Rejects is another one that I really enjoyed as well. Both the Halloween movies, and I'm trying to think of what other Rob Zombie movies I really enjoyed.
Was one with the little dwarf guy that was like on the top of the stairs and he had like angel wings? It was like it was another Rob Zombie flick.
Was it like like there was a couple that I really the witches of
Witches? I think that's it. Witches.
the witches of Blinga Blinga.
Eastvale. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Here's the thing. Why?
But I get it. I understand your gripe. I know. Like it takes a lot of that. You're like, okay, cool. I don't give a fuck what their backstory is. I just like the fact that they're pure evil and
they're
I get to see
after
them kill.
me. Yeah, and the thing is, the demon thing didn't come till later. I mean, that's like in the series. But what was scary about it
4
is
and 5, I think, is when it. Yeah,
but you didn't.
Those movies are cool too.
But you didn't know what he was doing. He was a psycho, and you had no idea what he was capable of. And then when you see him humanized, you're like, oh, he's a pipsqueak that,
Right.
You know, listen to.
Does he die at the end or no? Oh, that movie.
What in the-
the Rob Zombie movie?
They always die.
Oh, so he's not that human because he did 2 then, right?
Yeah.
He died on the first Rob Zombie
They
movie.
thought
and
he
then
died in a sense, you know what I'm saying?
but he
Like-
didn't die, right?
Right, like you can shoot somebody and
Yeah, he didn't die. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So here's the thing from another perspective, right? I'm not too much of a fan of horror movies myself. I that would be the last thing that I would watch. Me myself, no. The last thing that I would watch would be like
Romantic comedy.
Avenger movies, the Avenger movies, the Marvel movies.
gotcha.
What are they called?
children's movies.
Yeah, exactly, right? Cartoons.
Well, superhero.
Correct?
Pretty much,
Yes.
dude.
Cartoons. Yeah, I'm not too much into cartoons. So, the last movies that I would watch would be horror movies. Correct? Okay. Why? Because in some senses, when it's like too fantastic, to me, it's like, oh, come on, now you lost me. That's impossible
Yeah.
for me as a public. So when they humanize them to a certain extent, I'd be like, okay, now I believe that this psycho murdered all these people or whatever, right? So as a viewer, you
Right.
know, that's another perspective.
It makes more sense in a sense.
As somebody who's not so much of a fan of horror movies.
Otherwise, you would be a skeptic. Like this would never fucking happen.
Exactly.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, but all movies you have to really suspend your like.
Disbelief.
Like I watched the new season of Stranger Things, which whatever, like people can say what they want. I fucking loved. I loved it.
Yeah.
There was certain points there were certain points in that series that like there's certain things that happen. I'm like, okay, like I like
That's
it was
ridiculous.
just yeah, just like it was like irritating how dumb it was. And I'm like, oh, fuck me, dude. Like, this is like really, really stupid. But at the same time, like, I understood why they were going that route or why they were making this character get away, or like allowing this character to get away with what's happening in front of me. I get it. There's like certain things that they were just doing for the drama of it. So you got to suspend your disbelief, especially when it comes to horror movies. I mean, they're extremely fucking far-fetched and wild and weird and zesty.
I think
What the one? What was it? Oh, sorry.
No worries. I think you raised the like the final point. Whenever you watch a movie, you're stepping into the world of that
Right.
creation, right? So if the guy flies, dude. That's the world, right?
Man.
Like like I watched Stranger Things as well, and I saw like the whole aesthetic of it, and I was hooked, right? But then I saw this episode where some guy got locked up and he started morphing into something like. Switch that shit. I don't want to watch.
What was that
cartoons
last
right now.
horror movie that we watched? It was like an 80s one that we just popped in. It was like that weird guy that was, you remember it was like that he was chasing people through the
Was it Maniac? I don't even
No, it wasn't
remember.
Maniac. No. He was chasing people through the bowling alley. It was a very long title. You and I watched it here. It was like this weird.
I watched so many bad horror movies.
Okay, never mind. Okay. ¿Cómo se dice ghost en español?
Fantasma.
Fantasma.
Like phantasm
Sí,
or
Phantasm.
phantom, sort of like that.
Dile tu fantasma.
The ghost story? Okay.
Ah, sí.
Okay, historia de fantasmas.
Historia de fantasmas.
I have a
Kind of like a
bunch of
campfire.
I have a bunch of ghost stories, but that have happened in my apartment, but none of them have happened to me
In your apartment.
in my apartment.
Like other
Yeah.
people have told you?
Yes, I have an apartment in TJ. That's not where I live, but I used to live there, right? An apartment, and really quick, right? Because it's a series of stories that happen like really close by, no, to each other. The first time I was dating this girl who was like a star reader or a palm reader or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like something weird like that, right? So
Sounds
I
like
went-
Randy's type.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can see the ghost in your balls.
Okay, so we walked into the apartment, and as soon as we walk in, she starts like spazzing out, spazzing out and go
Like that.
sort of.
Like that. Kind
Got that ice gonna pop
that
off.
it? Was it?
Do that face right in that camera.
Please.
Yeah. So was she like that?
Yeah, so she spazzed out like that, and she went like, I can't be in this apartment. I cannot be in this apartment. Why? There's a weird vibe here. I can feel it. I can sense it. So I'm like, fuck. Let's drink a little more.
A la
No,
chingada.
whatever.
Just keep drinking. Just keep drinking.
Yes. So we ended up
More
There's
tequila,
nothing
more
weird going
tequila.
on here.
tequila.
What are you drinking? Go to more.
Beer, just beer. Beer. And so that was one thing, and I went like, crazy girl, right? So we left, right? And then what's the next story? Okay, the next story was that I had a girlfriend at the time in that same apartment, because I did have a girlfriend when I was going out with the card reader or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, Mexico, right?
We've all done
Yeah,
that.
man.
Mexico, baby.
Fuck yeah.
I guess I'm Mexican.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo soy
Yeah.
mexicano.
So
Mormons, Mexican Mormons. You ever heard of them? They just they follow the fundamentalist.
My nephew's
Yeah, dude, that's right. You were saying
my nephew's a
Mexican
Mormon.
he's a
Mormon.
Mormon.
Mexican Mormon.
Es una
Wow.
banda.
Mormon, and there's a big ass church. If we had a computer, you could look
Jose
it up.
Smith.
Is he doing? Does
Jose
he
Smith.
listen to the pod?
Joseph Smith.
Yeah, he does.
He does?
Shout out, Di Carlo. Yeah,
Holy
he does.
shit.
He does.
Okay,
Is he into
Yeah.
that? Is he going fundamentalist?
I don't know. I knew he wanted to go to Hawaii and do like something
yeah.
they do,
Yeah.
and then he wanted to come back and knock doors.
¿Cómo
Yeah,
se
yeah.
llama?
Well, they'll send you like crazy ass places.
Yeah,
Sometimes they'll be
his
like,
was Hawaii.
It was Hawaii. He got lucky because sometimes they'll be like, "You're going to Compton." And he's like, "Okay," and you got to go to Compton. I actually saw
To knock the doors, you mean?
to knock on doors.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, no,
yeah.
he had to go to Hawaii to do like something they do. So
Festival or something.
So he become an elder,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So he can come back and knock doors.
Does he have
Can't
the?
just
Does he
knock
wear the
doors,
underwear?
you know? What was that?
Does he wear the underwear? He's got it.
Yeah, I think. Because
Yeah,
when I talk to him and
magical.
I ask him, Di Carlo, when I ask him,
¿Cómo se llama él?
tell me, Di Carlo.
Di Carlo.
Di Carlo.
Watchale.
Ricardo?
Di Carlo.
Di Carlo.
Di Carlo.
Di Carlo?
Di Carlo.
Fucking Di Carlo, dude. So fucking Mormonism, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck,
But when
dude.
I ask him, he goes like, I don't know that shit.
I will say this about the Mormons. They are the sweetest people, and they are always the sweetest fucking
They are.
people. But my God, man, get out of the cult while you can, brother. Just run.
Hey, here's a crazy
run.
story.
Friend of the show, dude. Zach Hillman got out of Mormonism.
Yeah, we know, and also Jackson.
Yeah.
We know some people that are Reformed Mormons. Di Carlo.
Here's a story that I
You're
found
gonna be
funny.
okay.
Here's a story that I found funny. We took a trip to New York with my mom and my sister. My sister's his mom, right? And for some reason she started watching Netflix, right? And I told her, "Oh, watch that. Keep Sweet. Keep Sweet."
Oh yeah, Keep Sweet. Say sabah like I said la para
you know what's that, right?
Yeah.
Keep Sweet is about Mormonism and the way they
fundamentalist Mormons.
they raped girls or stuff like that. Something weird like
100%. It's so deep and so wrong and so twisted that it'll blow your fucking mind.
Okay, so this is what happens. She watches it, and all of a sudden, I see my sister dialing, and what you doing? I'm calling him right now.
No,
And she calls him, and I want an explanation. Like that, I was like,
I
found that so funny. Like, well, what do you mean? Okay, mom, let me give you an explanation about a director that I don't know why he did that movie or whatever. But she was like, I need an explanation now. Tell me what's going on.
The same thing can be said for like other religions, like Catholicism.
I mean, yes, but like really like.
Well, we're going down a rabbit hole right now, folks.
It's just
I
we're
grew
not
up
talking about
with
religion.
religious people, so
Watchale.
The Mormon faith is a very interesting and a tangled web of weirdness, and it's wreaked a lot of havoc on a lot of different people.
I was hanging out with a girl
sad.
once, and she took me to a Mormon church.
It's
and
probably amazing, beautiful place. A Mormon
Church?
they call them the Mormon
Monastery.
temples or something
Temple.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know what it was, but anyway, it was
Beautiful,
It was
right?
interesting. That wasn't beautiful. It was just like a
Some
church.
of them are gorgeous.
I
The
played
one in
basketball
Oakland,
with these kids,
Shabalala.
but they were all like, "Oh yeah," and it was like, listen to these stories about what they do.
I guess.
Anyway, we're talking about some crazy. What about the fucking ghost? Talk
Yeah,
about
ghosts. Yeah.
I know. I didn't mean to
Joe
say anything
Smith.
about religion.
Shit, we
dude.
can go down a
I'm
rabbit hole.
I believe in all religions. I'm that coexist sticker.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm cool with
cool.
all whatever you want to believe, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
and
Believe whatever you want to believe. Do you believe in ghosts?
in ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't believe in
I
ghosts.
But so you've had multiple ghost stories.
Yes.
The first one you were with the girl and that
that's
was
just
creepy.
That's their interpretation of ghosts and shit.
But well,
Not your
here's
own.
here's what I think. Right after I tell these stories, I just need to tell that story because that was the first thing.
Yes.
That first sign or
Got it.
preamble of how this starts. Right. I have a girlfriend, and I wake up early one day, and I go out and I have to go to work or whatever, and I accidentally locked her in the apartment. Right.
Okay.
I just locked her in because I just didn't pay no mind. Right. So I left. When I came back. I opened the door and she's locked in the bedroom and I go like, "Hey, why is the door locked? Is it you? Is it you, Manolo?" "Yes. What's going on?" She opens the door. "Oh my god. What happened? What the fuck? Why did you lock me in?" Or whatever, right?
Whoa.
And like, what the fuck? What's up? Okay, so I woke up. She tells me, okay, little story before, right?
Yeah.
At night, the night before, we were watching a movie and we're just watching the movie, and all of a sudden she just gasps and hugs me, right? And I'm like, "What? What's up?" And she went, "No, nothing." Right? Okay, cool. So fast forward to the day that we're talking about, right? I woke up, she tells me, and I went to the kitchen because I was gonna make me some breakfast. And while I'm making my breakfast, the cupboards, the dishes, they start like trembling, right?
Yeah.
And I went like, "Oh, maybe it's an earthquake," right? So I get startled. But then it trembles again. And I went, "A rat," right?
Whoa.
So I went like, "Fuck that, a rat," right? She starts walking back to the bedroom through the hall, and she listens. "Hey,"
Oh,
right?
shit.
She goes like, "What the fuck?" and goes to the bedroom. And she starts panicking, right? And she tells me, "Remember last night I hugged you? I heard the same thing."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Okay, that's crazy, right?" That's the second story. Let's say 3 weeks after that, I'm with a girl in my bedroom because I got around.
Different
girl, yeah, different girl. And I used to get around, right?
See.
Before it fell off.
Yeah, before it fell off.
Antes.
So the whole bedroom is in the same apartment. It's black, dark black. Got the lights turned off. We're just like resting or whatever. And right in front of our door is the bathroom door, right? And then that hall. So we're just like this, and she's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" She screams. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Right? And she's, "A baby! I saw a baby right there, like just hanging out on the." You're crazy. I'm just dating crazy girls. What the fuck, right? Then we're in another one of the rooms. We're
Same
drinking.
girl.
No, this is another girl. But with another girl and a guy and like different people. We're having like a little get together.
Pansexual frenzy.
Yes. So let's say yeah, like right there, Rossco, right? Like you can see that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're here hanging out like that entrance, right? So we're just hanging around, we're talking, we're partying, and this girl screams again, right? Some new girl. What the fuck? I just saw a guy pass through there. I just saw a guy pass through there. Or whatever. Okay, cool. The only thing that I could say happened to me is two things in that apartment, right? One is I was with another girl in the same bedroom or whatever, and this time the door was locked, so it was all pitch black, right? So I'm like this, and she's facing this way, and I'm facing that way, but it's all dark. All of a sudden, I see like a flash, just like quick flash, like let's say, have you seen the pictures of the Virgin Mary?
Yeah.
You see that like thing that's around
her, yeah.
Yeah, sort of like that, but just a flash, right?
Oh.
And I go like, whatever, right? Just my eyes, right? And she goes, did you take a picture, you fuck?
Oh shit.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah, like a flash, right? And I went like, what the fuck? But my mind goes like, it could have been a car passing by. It could have been whatever, right? Okay, cool. This is what trips me out. This is the only thing that trips me out. During that same time, I was sleeping with another girl in that bed, and the bed was like on the floor, like feng shui style, right?
Mm-hmm. Feng shui.
Or I like feng shui better.
Or this Mexican, remember?
Or feng shui.
I got this feng shui situation going on over here.
Okay, so I'm the type of guy that needs to have the television turned on or music or whatever to sleep, right? So the TV would have a timer, and when it timed out, it would startle me. Just I don't know why.
Because it would go black.
Yeah, and I would wake up if I was sleeping. And sometimes I wouldn't even open my eyes, and I would get the remote and just put the timer or whatever and just fall back to sleep. Cool. This time I was looking for the remote, and I fell off the bed. When I turn around, I see the girl, and I see myself lying there, right?
Yourself?
Myself. And I went like, what the fuck? This is a cool-ass dream, right? So I try to fucking go for the girl and listen to her, right? Her breathing, right? And then I went like, fuck, I want to go out. I want to go to the street, right? So I start like struggling, but on the floor, struggling, and then something was pulling me back.
Are you saying you're awake?
I'm dreaming. I know that I'm dreaming.
Okay,
you know, and something's like pulling me back, and I go like, concentrate, don't wake up, right? And then I go and then I woke up. Fuck the girl, everything. Okay, shit. Okay, cool. The next day, a dream. I'm in the floor again, but just me, right?
Oh,
and I go like, fuck, I want to go outside. I had that dream. I don't know, 8 times, and every time I kept.
I love that.
Was that the same place?
Same apartment, and every time I would end up where I was the last time.
I love it.
This is something weird that happened that I loved. I went to the bathroom and I tried to like go and see myself in the mirror. This is a true story. It's a dream, of course, right? But I was
You're
looking
like naked with the biggest dick. You're like, you're naked with the biggest dick.
It was just so hard for me to move.
Great act
so hard, but I could see myself, but it's sort of transparent, and that was like, whoa, a big trip. And I woke up. Then a friend of mine was sleeping in the living room, and I crawled up really hard to do, and I would hear him snore, and I was just like fascinated by it, you know. Woke up again, right? Yeah,
this is amazing. Dude. Yeah, you just floating around.
Yes, but it was so hard. Wow. I had to concentrate. It would pull me back, and I'd be like, "Don't wake up! Okay, I'm back." Right, and the last thing that I remember, I grabbed a doorknob, and I could feel it. I could feel like the metal, right? And that was like amazing. Oh my god, I can feel this inside my dream.
Were you flying when you were touching it?
No, it's not flying. It's like floating. It's like struggling to fucking move, you know. And the last thing. Boom! I'm in the floor, right? Again, inside my bedroom, and on the.
You wake up on the floor?
Yeah. No. I don't wake up. No. I'm always in my bed. It's a dream. Yeah,
this is actually really fascinating.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
reoccurring dreams are so fucking wild.
But this happened like in a month, just a month, you know. But this is what happened the last time. Boom! I'm in the floor, my bed, and turn around. Okay, we're back, baby. Okay, and I could know it. But this time, when I turned around and then I turned back on, I saw like a little foot, like a what do you call these? Duendes?
A troll.
Yeah, like a troll, like a little troll. Exactly. It's like a little shoe like that, and I could see his.
Oh, an elf.
My son.
Yeah, like an elf. But I didn't see his face, just his foot with the little shoe, right? And I went like, I see you, you fuck, right? And I went like, okay, I'm just struggling right here, struggling. Grab the foot, and all my dream went like haywire, a bunch of colors, and shit. Woke up. Never had that dream again.
Oh.
Because you got the elf.
I don't know what the fuck.
The
it was just a great dream.
Never
I loved
the
it.
elf
It wasn't
sweat.
scary or anything. It was just fun, you know, and I loved it. I have sort of lucid dreams where I like a lot of people do, like we're dreaming right now, like this could be a dream.
That reminds me, when I was a kid, I had a dream. I was in Fresno. We were like visiting friends because we used to live there. And then
yes,
as the folks say.
Oh,
but I remember
they do say that.
some do.
That's
I like
creepy.
to be
Whoever
positive.
says that, shit, it's creepy.
Population, but
Try to keep it positive.
I remember waking up. I remember being in the dream, and there's it looked like Transylvania with like a fucking castle, and there's some goober
the castles of Fresno.
Yes. Well, it's supposed to be in Chino Hills, where I had lived at the time, and we were visiting Fresno. So I remember being lucid, where I was like,
"Is that blinking mean the light's going out?"
No, it's just gonna go out eventually. It's just gonna plop right out.
Oh,
snap! Oh no, it's I remember just being like, "Oh shit!" And this Frankenstein guy was chasing me, and it was so visceral and felt so real. But then I remember I was like, "Oh, I'm not in Chino Hills. I'm in
dreaming.
Fresno. I'm dreaming." And then he was all, and he
You got me.
You got me. Yeah, it's one of those things.
tricked you, trick or treat.
Yeah, but in Chino Hills, though, there was a lot of folklore and scary shit but I grew up with the city growing up, so there was nothing there but dairies, and someone was murdered in the 80s.
Nice.
Cooper House.
One person?
Yeah, well, more than that, but it was a family that was murdered.
Nice.
And there's a crazy story about that because the guy that killed them is still alive, and it's a gnarly story. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets involved at some point. He used to work out with that was Tukey Williams. Never mind, but he was involved in that because it's a gnarly story. I can explain it to you if you want. But in the early 80s, Chino Prison, which is still around, they had a less secure part of it. It was a minimum security part for people for less crime. He stole a car. It wasn't he was a murderer.
Is this what you
told
me about?
Okay, yeah, we were in Chino Hills, but
it's a cool story.
Yeah, but so
Who's he?
So there's a guy, Kevin Cooper, who was in jail.
Killer?
He was in prison for stealing for a car theft. He's from Pittsburgh. He was out in Chino, and this is when there was a lot of nothing. And Chino Hills was just
Dairy town.
It was dairy town. There was a lot of ranchers and stuff, and families that had ranches,
money, right?
And money and ranches. And so he escaped one night because they had a thing where you could just go to the grocery store, and you had a chaperone guy, and he escaped. And so he ended up going to Chino Hills, and he hid out there was a guest house in one of these ranches. They had a guest house on this hill in Chino Hills, and you could get away with it because it was just pitch. There's nothing there other than those houses. So he hid out in their guest house overnight. Supposedly he stabbed them. There was a mom, dad, daughter, son, and a friend. It was weird because the Neutrogena company, it was whoever owned Neutrogena, John Neutrogena, whoever that was.
John Neutrogena. That's
Yeah. Their kid was murdered that night.
Ronnie
all of
Neutrogena.
them were killed except the son.
Because he was sleeping over, right?
He was sleeping over, and he went to the house. He supposedly killed all of them, but it was brutal. It was 180 to 100 times that he had stabbed them. Ooh. And then
one of the kids.
So hold on. Let me say this. Hold on.
Yeah.
So a guy's in jail in Chino Hills for a lesser crime of
Car theft.
car theft.
Yeah.
He escapes somehow, whatever. He's in a bungalow house on a ranch, and he just says, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna kill some people."
Yeah, well, there's more to the story. It's kind of wild. There's more that unfolds.
That's it.
But that's a news story that everybody saw in the 80s or 90s or whatever it was.
And growing up, you'd always hear about the Cooper house, which is so morbid because he's Kevin Cooper. The house was the Ryan house. It was the Ryan family. So the Ryan son survived. He had gotten his throat slit and a hammer to the head. He survived. He held his throat all night, and the cops came, and the first thing that he had said when they had questioned him, they're
was
yeah. That's
pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
The
first thing he said to the cops was,
"Yeah,
any piss?"
he had a second mouth. No, poor kid. But yeah, he told the cops. It's all right.
I'm going straight to fucking.
But he said it was 3 white or Hispanic men. He said 3 people.
Oh shit!
And so what happened is
Mexicans, to be exact.
I don't know. It could have been Argentinians. Who knows? So
Salvadorian.
over time, there's been a lot of
100%. Guatemalans. How about that? I'll tell you.
It was San Bernardino.
Guatemalans is what I call. No, I'm joking. Shout out to my Guatemalan friends. Okay. Guatemaltecos, amor.
Panamanians, man.
Oh,
damn.
Dude. My favorite rapper from Panama.
That's right. Yeah.
So come on.
Yeah, the romantic styles.
I'm into this.
The story was about these
Three
guys. Oh, sorry. The story was not about that because San Bernardino at the time, especially, I mean, even now, it's a pretty racist.
But you didn't say it.
Place.
The kid first says it's for Hispanics.
Hispanic and for
next day. What happens?
So the next day,
fucking manhunt probably.
Yeah, well, they found Cooper. He had raped a girl in Long Beach, and
he actually did that, right?
He took their car and fled to Long.
So he had their car. Got it.
And so he raped a girl and was fleeing the rape, and they caught him. So he isn't a good guy regardless. But what had happened is over time, someone went back to like investigate, to open up again because he had claimed that he was framed or that it wasn't him, and they had found other DNA on the site. So there's someone else's DNA that wasn't the family or his. So like the three people that, you know, they had said, there's other accounts of people that saw three white guys like driving crazy, and they all had blood on their suspenders, and there's a woman that had talked about this place, Canyon Corral. It's right by my house. It's a bar, a shit kicker bar that was over there, probably the only bar I'm sure at that time. And they saw the guys come in and they had blood on them, and the girl was like, "Yeah, that's kind of strange." Well, there was an officer. There was an officer there, so she was like, maybe they like were, you know, fucking, like
maybe they were
skinning pigs or fucking pigs or whatever, and
Pig
just something happened. She's like, well, there's an officer,
Corral.
he'll question them. And so one of those guys was actually, he had murdered someone, and he did time for murder. Like way back in the day, he was an older dude. He'd been to prison, all that. And his wife that night, or his girlfriend that night, had saw blood all over his coveralls, and she believed that he could have been involved in the murder.
She actually says, right?
Yeah, she went to the police and gave them the coveralls as like evidence or whatever, and they threw him away. The cops threw him away because like, we have this black guy. This is the guy. That's it.
We have our guy.
So they didn't want to go into it. You know, they didn't want to look into anyone else maybe being involved.
Have you guys seen Dahmer?
No.
A little bit of it.
I did, yeah. I knew the story before, but what I did not know is that he got murdered in jail by another inmate. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's another guy. Yeah. But so the Kevin
Probably
Cooper,
because of the kid shit.
pedophile.
Yeah. Because he molested that one kid, and then he killed his 14-year-old brother.
Yeah, probably then.
So tell the end of the story, please.
So Kevin
really
Cooper
intrigued.
for years, that house was someone moved in. There's like a guy that lives in that house. But growing up, everyone would always talk about the Cooper house, and my friends would go to fuck around on Halloween. There'd always be cops over there because they knew that kids were coming. But when I was a little kid in the 90s, I remember people going and fucking and vandalizing. You'd always hear stories. Oh, this ghost touched me. But they talked about it was the house. It was the bonus house that he stayed in. It wasn't the house.
Yeah.
It was a crime.
But in the house there probably are ghosts.
Yeah, probably.
Four to be
and
exact,
some
right?
like dude lives in it, and he has I guess my friend went on a ride along with cops. This was like 20 years, early thousands, and he was talking about the guy that lived in there. He saw the guy because they went to go check up. They're like, oh, how's it going? And he said it was a dude in like a wife beater and Budweiser hat, and it's a big ass house. Imagine
And
the
just
deal.
the dude?
It's just some.
You probably
guy.
got it for a fucking steal of a deal.
Yeah, because people were murdered brutally.
Yeah.
Would you buy a house like that?
So-
would any of you
A
guys
murder
go buy-
house?
Yeah. Did you guys buy it?
No,
I
dude.
don't think so.
Fuck no.
I mean, fuck, if it was cheap enough. Maybe.
You know what? No, I probably wouldn't, and not for the reason there was people murdered in there, because I feel like if something bad happens in a place, as long as you're bringing like your good energy there, you know, a lot of that negative stuff will just kind of like disperse. And
So you're saying that
I do believe that.
You're saying there's a ghost in that house? Well, what was the? I mean,
Well,
we were
so
talking
there's
about ghosts.
for a while it was
What's the
left
point?
alone.
I want to know the point.
Well, someone
waiting.
opened it up again, right? Because he had claimed forever that like there's more to the. It wasn't me. I was framed. There's
Okay,
other
okay.
guys, and so that guy that had possibly been involved, the white dude
guy?
that was with him, he like died in like 2004, and his chick still believes that it was
That he
him.
did it, right?
okay.
That he was one of the people, at least. So people believe that maybe he was in cahoots with those guys.
Got it.
But the
But
weird
who was in cahoots? Cooper?
that Cooper was
Yeah.
because I mean, yeah,
Isn't it weird that that's like a whole another Cooper story, and then there's that DB Cooper guy.
Oh yeah,
Got
yeah.
away with the plane.
What's crazy though is the son now, because all the time people write books about it. People protest for him,
but
for
he still
Kevin Cooper.
says that
he
Cooper
still
was the
stands
guy.
by. But now the kid says it is him. He's like, look, I have nightmares of this fucking guy all the time, and every time you guys do this, it opens it back up. And he's like, it was him.
But here's the crazy thing that I saw: his grandma, the mother of the couple,
Oh, of Ryan, the Ryan family.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the wife or the husband. She says it wasn't Cooper.
Oh, really?
The grandma says it wasn't Cooper, and the kid says like, no, I told you it's Cooper.
Yeah.
And Cooper got Kim Kardashian. Cooper got everybody like protesting
like for him.
and
yeah.
shit.
But
what?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like celebrities that like got behind.
But he's
it.
a rapist.
But he's a
either
rapist.
way. I don't
He's
know
not a good guy anyway. So
Wow.
But it is believed that it could have been in cahoots with those other guys. But there's a heavy feeling. I went over there one time because there's a badass like walk. We can
Here
go see all
comes the
horses.
ghosty kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I was there one time at the site where there used to be because they tore it down. They finally tore down the
secondary
bonus
house. Yeah.
And so I was over there, and there's like all this tile and stuff. And I shit you not, like there was the heaviest feeling just being over there. Like it felt like.
But you know it's
but
what
I know
happened.
it's what happened. You know, I don't know.
It's like when you could pick up show a picture of a guy and say this guy saved 30 kids from a burning building, and you're like, wow, yeah, he looks great. Like, wow, what a fucking hero. And you show the same picture, say this guy fucking murdered 30 kids, and you go, oh yeah, I can tell he looks like a fucking murderer.
So you think it's like a mind thing?
It's a mind
like,
thing.
Because my grandfather, I remember, I thought I saw him at my grandma's house after he passed away.
Okay, so
Here
we go, right? Something ghostly that has happened to you.
Yeah,
to you
he
personally.
went down this Cooper fucking trail.
Free Cooper, say it.
Yeah.
You want to say it? Say it. Free Cooper.
I think they might actually put him to death now.
Oh shit!
Because I forgot. I gotta check out.
What about Grandpa? Fuck Cooper.
Grandpa. Well, my grandma's house they built in the 70s. It's a creepy house. It's got a creepy vibe. Always has. But I remember
Where's it at?
My dad's not.
Where's the house
big
at?
ghost. That's in Atascadero. That's in Central California.
Your dad's
near
not a
San
big
Luis
ghost
Obispo.
kind of guy. Okay.
No, so it was weird for him to even say stuff, and it was that he heard things. But I remember one night in the middle of the night, I went to the kitchen and I saw like the blinds like flicker, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I felt something, and I'm not trying to sound, I grew up with kids always having outlandish stories, and I never believed them, but there was just a feeling. Maybe it's just because it was, it was fresh. It was like a couple years after he died. So I don't know. But that was something where I saw shit move in the kitchen. I heard a voice and all that stuff.
But did you see him, or did
No.
something that you can say? There's no explanation for something that I saw.
No. Yeah. I mean, other than that, in Chino Hills, there's the green mist. That's like this
What is
weird green mist at 3 a.m. It's on YouTube. You can look it up. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know
Yeah,
if it qualifies. I don't know if it qualifies.
I don't know.
What about you, my friend? I just want to put this parenthesis. I don't want to go long, but the only thing, because this is why I don't believe in ghosts, because I have never seen something documented, or for myself, which is more important to me, if I see with my own eyes, but nothing that could be like, oh, there's no explanation for that,
Right?
Because everything most of the times can be an explanation. Here's a story. I don't know if you guys know about this. In Spain, I don't know the name of the town, but this lower class, middle lower class family in the kitchen, faces started
Appearing on the tiles.
appearing. Do you see that? It's
No.
not like tile. It's just like cement, right? But faces, it's weird to imagine it, but you can look it up and you'll see it. It's called the Faces of Malvais, I think, something like that. Okay, so faces, a woman's face, a kid's face, a lot of faces. They cleaned it up. They appeared again. The family actually tore it off, put in a new floor. It appeared again. Okay, so now it's the story, right?
Yeah.
People come and investigate. See, they take samples of it or whatever. No, this is not fabricated. This is just something weird that's happening here. And it's faces. When you see them, it's fucking trippy.
Damn.
The people that lived there died, so they can never really find out if they did it or how they did it or if it was done or if it's just something that happened. Now I think it's covered, or I don't know if it's a museum, but it's the closest thing that I've seen.
Oh.
But for the when you try to go down rabbit holes and do your research, that's the closest thing that I saw that I went like, okay, that's okay.
Fernandez?
I don't believe any of this shit.
No?
Do you think porno theaters are haunted by the
Yes, they do.
semen that was spilled on the?
That's where you hear those weird sounds out of porno theaters. That's the little baby sperms that are coming back to life, and they're gonna fucking haunt your dreams.
Manolo, do you dig Halloween? Like, what do you usually do for Halloween?
Shape penises.
Wait,
and
I want to
fucking-
say a ghost story.
Oh yeah,
I want to hear your fucking.
He's probably
ghost
got the
stories.
best ghost story,
I
and
know.
we're jumping
Yeah.
in.
Speaking of
Something
shape-
probably happened to you, right? In Las Palmas, in Las Palmeras.
En Las Palmeras, sí. Cuando yo clamo hasta Las Palmas con la serrucha.
La Llorona.
La Llorona, sí. Y yo corto las palmas o las palmeras con la serrucho. Sí. Muchos problemas con the ghosts. ¿Cómo se dice?
Fantasmas.
Fantasmas. No, I think my only phantasma story is when I was living at this house once, and I don't know what it could have been or whatever. Maybe I was dreaming. I'm not sure. But there was a couple actually stories. I used to reenact the Civil War. I used to put on the outfit and go out and with the musket and all that shit.
By
Whatever.
yourself with like a crew or by
Yeah, with the whole Civil War thing. My mom and
I
her
thought just
boyfriend-
you yourself. I was
fun?
like, what the
My
fuck?
mom and her boyfriend used to do it, right?
Was it cool? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
As a kid, you
those
know.
people are into it.
Yeah, they're really into it.
Yeah.
But so there was a story.
No, I think it's great. I actually like.
I was thinking like the southern side guys. If they're
Yeah,
really
I was
good.
gonna ask you
Well,
which side.
I was a Yankee.
Yeah, it's
Hell yeah.
but I think it's like the whole like idea of like dress up and
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
the wool outfits, the real outfits and everything.
Yeah.
We had the real muskets and everything from back
Yeah.
in the day. And anyway, so there was a story that, you can hear a woman screaming in the night, like she would walk the wall or something, somebody died. I swear, I heard a fucking lady scream.
But
In the
what
middle-
was this at that house?
at the reenactment place, like at one of the like a base. You would go to a base and you would reenact a war.
Yeah.
Like Gettysburg or whatever. You would go to that place. And at night I was walking around as a kid. I was like 13 years old. It could have been anybody, right? Just doing a scream. But I fucking heard it. I heard a woman scream in the middle of the night as I was like walking the thing alone.
All right, now we're talking about ghost stories. Now I do have a ghost story.
You do?
Yeah,
Can
I
you,
do.
You want to hear?
Okay, but
Oh, sorry.
but I
sorry.
got more.
Yeah.
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 So then you saw the lady.
No, and then they said that no one's in that house up there or whatever. I'm just saying this is the one little thing that I experienced, and I saw the curtain fucking move on the top of this building. And they say that building's closed off. No one ever is up there.
But you saw that curtain move.
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, you could
Squatters'
you could
rights.
swear that it was the one way and
Yep.
then it's that way. So
Yep.
now it's that way. Look.
Exactly, and then it went like this. Okay, so then that's whatever. I'm not gonna tell this crazy story like Robert Thompson did. But I was sleeping in my bed I was renting a room in this house in California. And I woke up. I thought I woke up, but I could not pull the sheets off of my head. Okay? Like I slept with the sheets like this, and then I don't know if I was sleeping or if I was awake, but I literally saw like this going, when you go like this to your eyes?
Yeah.
And I was seeing this shit, right? Like in the room. No one else is in the fucking room. And I saw this kind of shit.
But what do you mean this kind of shit? Like a hand or what?
Like you can see like shadow,
Okay.
like going across the thing. And I had the sheets over my head because that's how I sleep. I think I still sleep that way. And
My sister sleeps that way too.
yeah,
Yeah, with her face like buried in the sheets. Always has.
it's probably not good. Thing.
Yeah.
I remember they
Yeah.
like my mom would
Weird.
always say, "Like it's really bad."
Yeah, it's probably bad. I could not, and I wanted to see what the fuck this thing was moving on the sheet.
You couldn't move.
I couldn't fucking move.
Were you scared? Scared?
Sí.
Scared?
¿Cómo se dice español? Scared.
Asustado.
Sí, asustado. Sí, mucho.
And what?
Mucho
All of a
asustado.
sudden,
No
what,
sé.
you moved, or
No sé,
all of a sudden you
I
woke
couldn't
up?
pull the fucking sheets off of my head.
How?
To see what the fuck it was. And I couldn't, it was like, I felt like I couldn't breathe. And then, I don't know how, but like maybe it was my dream. But those are the two things.
But
that-
how did it end, though?
Well, of course look, I'm right here.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know, but
Are you?
okay, but all of a sudden, could you move, or all of a sudden, boom, you woke up?
I don't know, I don't recall, but I think I don't know, woke up or I moved or, yes, eventually, yeah, I was able to pull the thing over and go like, what the fuck was going on?
Okay, Ross, because that's something that actually it
happened
has
physically.
It has a name.
Really?
Look it up. They call it in Spanish. They actually call it "se te sube el muerto."
Se te sube el muerto?
The dead gets on top of you.
Oh shit!
But it's actually I don't know if it's a syndrome but it's something that happens, and most of us have experienced. I've experienced that as well.
Oh,
Like sleep paralysis.
Exactly. That's what it is.
That's
Sleep paralysis.
frightening, dude. Sleep paralysis.
Really?
That's sort of like what you're describing.
I was like paralyzed.
Yeah, it's because you're when you sleep,
Yeah.
your body, you know this, it actually paralyzes you, so you don't walk or you don't fucking jump or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you wake up, but that thing hasn't kicked off.
Oh
you know?
shit!
So you're like waking up, but you're still asleep, but you're fucking have no movement, and it's a syndrome or something that. But you can look it up and
So
and
maybe
it's a
I never.
thing.
So this thing was talking about. Have you
scary
ever
shit.
Have you ever experienced a ghost before? The things that were happening at the fucking Civil War reenactment stuff. Maybe it was something. Okay, and then the other thing maybe it was sleep paralysis. But you're right. Has anyone actually seen a ghost in front of you or someone like no?
Yeah, it's because when things like that
Ross
could
has
have
something to say.
explanations. You know, the curtain. Yeah, maybe a mouse or
Whatever.
could be improbable. But
So when I was a kid, I was probably I was like 13, and I stayed in this cabin in Michigan every year. It was a really old cabin. Anyway, this year it was a big deal. They were spreading the ashes of this famous painter from northern Michigan, and they were spreading them all over that weekend, all over the campground and little places to remember. Can't remember the guy's name. But anyway, so they're spreading little ashes around the whole campground, right? I was going to bed, and the cabin that we'd stay in had 2 bedrooms, and then it had like 2 sleeping porches because they were meant to be like summer camp type of living situations. All the beds were, or all the couches were pull-out beds, and there were like beds everywhere. So I was sleeping on the bed in the corner. My sister was sleeping on the couch bed next to me in this big room. They were small cabins.
And your sister was sleeping with the covers over her head.
Well, yeah, pretty much. So everyone went to bed, and I wasn't asleep yet. Eyes were closed. I heard footsteps walking from the kitchen through the dining room into the living room where we were sleeping, and then stop right in between me and my sister, and that was it. And my heart was fucking racing. I opened my eyes because I wanted to see who the fuck was there, and there was nobody there, which scared me even more. The next day,
in the same cabin.
the next day, I asked my sister. I said, "Do you hear those footsteps last night?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Oh,
And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
See, now that's sort of something.
That's creepy. Yeah.
The only thing is where they came from. You know.
Dude, it was so weird the way it sounded because those floors. So it was built. It was built on. There was a what do you call it? A basement down below. So all the steps, you could feel the steps, and I don't know if it was my imagination or what, but I could hear them going from the kitchen all the way to in between our beds, and I thought it was my fucking uncle fucking with me. Yeah. I really did. I thought it was my uncle fucking with me, so I opened my eyes up because I'm like, I wanted to fucking punch him in the nuts. But there was nothing there. So that was, I would say, the one ghost story that I have. But honestly, it could have been an overactive imagination. And maybe, I don't remember anybody else being awake or walking around.
But here's the thing. If the sister heard it as well, so it definitely happened. That noise happened. The thing is, where did it happen?
Yeah. My sister...
You didn't encourage her to say that?
No, none at all.
But you know what I mean, right? It could be an echo. It could sound that it's coming from there, but it's not coming from there.
And and my sister is not one, like, she loves all that shit. She likes spooky shit. She's always been like my sister was like a hardcore horror fan when we were really little. So she loves all that shit, like way more than I do. I love horror movies, but she's way more into it.
Here's something that I'd like to add to the story that I had in that apartment during that time. During that time, a friend of mine who's into, what do you call them? Like witches, but they call them in Spanish. But they're like card readers.
Oh yeah,
like shamans, shamans, or stuff like that.
Like occult stuff.
Yeah. So he took me to one of these ladies. There's a bunch in Mexico.
They pulled chicken guts out of your belly and shit.
No, they're called tarot readers. That's all they're called, really.
Yeah, but they're a little bit more because they read your coffee.
Oh.
They'll fucking burn shit around you.
Yeah.
They'll spit on your face. It's something weird.
Chicken guts.
Yeah,
exactly. real witchy shit.
They'll sometimes sacrifice chickens and shit like that.
They'll give you Coca-Cola as medicine. Like, it's a weird thing where they're like, oh, Coca-Cola is your medicine. You need to drink Coca-Cola, and that's your medicine.
Yeah. So,
Isn't that weird? What's up with that Mexico?
I don't know, man. But
Isn't there like a fucking whole like section of Mexico where they believe that Coca-Cola has like spiritual powers and that it helps heal everything?
I've never heard that before. I've never heard that before.
I think there is,
old
man.
school Coca-Cola. I mean, that guy made it.
That was medicine. That
Yeah.
was Coke.
Opium.
Cocaine. Yeah, we all know that.
So listen to this. Yeah. So my friend at that time, he used to go all the time because he would do his stuff. If the witch would tell him, yo, bet on this numbers right now or whatever, he would bet or shit like that. He was like really into that. Yeah. So he takes me. I went like, sure, let's go. Right.
A clip.
Your clip.
I like how you're. It's a good clip.
I'm a fiddler, dude. Yeah.
But that's a perfect fiddler. Sorry.
Okay, so I go and I have my cards read or whatever.
You go to this thing?
Yeah, I went to him.
Why not?
Because your uncle or somebody?
No, a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine who ended up being murdered. Here's the weird thing: my friend ended up being murdered at a shopping mall. Some guy killed him over a woman or whatever. There's a tape. If you look him up, there's a videotape of some guy.
Oh shit! I don't like to watch those stuff.
That's freaky.
From the security cameras or
fuck.
whatever. R.I.P. Right? So he took me there. Right? So the car lady started talking to me and she started telling me a bunch of bullshit or what I don't even remember. But what stuck out is that she said, "Where do you live right now?" And I went, "Oh, right here in TJ." And she's like, "Okay, wherever you're living right now," she told me, "there's a baby." There's a baby in wherever you're living. What do you mean? There's a baby? Yeah. Have you had abortions? She started telling me this shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? No, I don't have abortions, and no, I don't have babies or whatever. Right? There's a kid. I see a kid. There's a baby right there where you're living. What do I do? Just put a glass of water next to the window or something like that. He's thirsty. He doesn't mean no harm or whatever, right? So I'm like, okay, and that was just something weird. And the other day, here's a crazy shit, but here's an explanation. Me and my girl, we were drunk. We're like drunk, right? And all of a sudden she says, I saw a kid. Not there, right? But at a place. And I went, yeah, I told you it's my ghosts or whatever, just fucking with her, right? But something about a kid or a baby or whatever. And another add-on, the guy that when I was floating in my dream and was hearing him snore, he got murdered as well.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Oh shit. Well, I'm definitely not going to stop by that apartment if I ever go down.
Did you ever leave out a glass of water for this kid?
No, never. Because I went like, oh, okay, good.
If you left
cool
out the
story.
water and you saw that the water was gone the next day.
That would have been crazy, right?
Oh yeah,
that would have been crazy.
Should have been the cat that lives in the neighborhood that was very thirsty.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, I think that real life stuff about people getting murdered is fucking terrifying because there's like real evil out there. Like,
how long is this podcast?
You know,
we go long on these.
Here's another thing that maybe you like about, because I think I told you, I don't know, like my
this thing's gonna be like 2 hours long.
Here's another crazy thing. Here's another crazy thing. If I don't know, like my brother-in-law, he got murdered as well. My brother-in-law. I got a lot of these stories.
Well, because you're down there in TJ, people are fucking murdering people all the time.
Well, his was a statistic thing, because he had money. He had like a company that built like rubber stuff or whatever. So he had a lot of money. So people kidnapped him, right?
Oh.
And he actually never appeared. Shit like that. Shit. But here's what I'm getting at.
What was that called? With extortion?
Yeah, they tried to extort him or whatever, but he never appeared. This is a true story.
He never came back.
Never came back. Never. But here's the thing. That in my dreams, what I could let's say I'm dreaming. No, you and I we're doing a comedy show or whatever, and I can feel somebody next to me. Oh my god, my brother-in-law, right? And the first thing that fuck. Yo, who did it? What happened? That's what I started doing, right? Who did it? What happened? He would disappear. Fuck, right? In my dreams, right? And then another dream or whatever, and book again. Hey, what happened? Who did it? What happened? What happened? And he would just like not say nothing, right? But then one time, this is God honest truth, it's dreams, right? It's dreams. Again, I see him and I go like, yo, what happened? What happened? He just said, hey, that's not important. Let's fucking live, right?
Whoa.
Like shit like that.
You guys ever have dreams where you like this kind of dream where you're hanging out with somebody that's dead? You guys ever have a dream where you're hanging out with somebody that's dead?
yes.
Yeah.
Have you?
Totally.
No, I kind of wish.
It's fucking great, dude.
I wish I was hanging out with my dad.
Dude,
Exactly.
If you ever get the chance to have a dream where you're like hanging out with your dad, it's or like a dead person, it's pretty for the most part it's
Peaceful.
pretty special. It's fucking crazy. I had a dream about my buddy's dad who had passed away, and like it was a trip. It was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and I was trying to tell him. I was trying to tell my buddy. I was like, bro, I had a dream with your dad in it the other night.
What do you say? Don't tell me.
Yeah, he's like, don't tell me. I was like, I'm gonna tell you. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
I was like, it was special.
Yeah.
You know, because I felt like it just feels like you're having this weird little moment with somebody that's not here.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Now, could that be considered?
Well,
a ghost?
I think no. I really do think it's just our conscious, our subconsciousness or unconscious, whatever it's called. And you got all this information.
I think
of all
Ross
the
just got
people.
emotional.
No, yeah. Well, it was a trip thinking about that dream, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just stuff that we have, you know, inside our heads. And I guess that's just a great time where you're not thinking about work or you're not thinking about whatever you're thinking about, you know. You just fucking let loose and what's really bothering you, know, or what's really on your mind, and that's what happens.
Like when you lose teeth or like are naked in
dude,
class.
those
Well,
teeth
we all have
losing
that
weight
dream, you know?
dreams are fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, I don't. Okay, let's talk about sueños.
Yeah, sueños.
Sí, estas sueños.
Sueños, yeah.
Mis sueños, yo no sé mis sueños. Yo no tengo sueños.
¿No tienes sueños?
No tengo sueños.
Do you remember a single
Nunca.
dream?
No,
Never?
nunca. Yo no tengo sueños.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Chance
thing.
no. Chance yo estoy muy, ¿cómo se dice?
Maybe you don't remember them.
No, sí, yo recuerdo todo. Yo,
Okay.
yo tengo pensa. Yo tengo.
But okay, this is what I've heard, that when you don't dream, it's because you're really, really rested. You really were in REM sleep. That's what I've heard, you know?
Chance no. Chance tú no.
Because when you dream, you're actually going through emotions.
You know, I've been doing this thing where I haven't been. I go through bouts of like smoking weed and not smoking weed, and every time I smoke weed, I don't dream at all, or hardly at all. And every time I don't smoke weed, I'm dreaming constantly, and the dreams are fucking always intense as fuck, and it's like every single fucking night. And it's the
How
weirdest.
about
thing.
nightmares? Is there a nightmare that you remember?
No, not so much nightmares, but it's weird. Like somebody will mention something, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I had a dream about that last night. I had a dream the other night where I was like angry and upset because I was eating this massive. I mean, we're talking like fucking bigger than the size of like this big. Actually, it was about this big. It was a giant gummy bear. It was a giant blue gummy bear, and I was eating this fucking thing, and it didn't taste like anything. It just tastes like fucking air. And it's like I ate like 3/4 of it. And I was like, man, I understand that the sugar content in this is just fucking through the roof. And it didn't even taste like anything. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I eat that giant fucking blue gummy bear for? Like, that was stupid. That was
your dream.
Yeah, that was my dream.
It was a nightmare.
Did I ever tell you about the old lady in the canyon?
No.
This is a creepy story that my friend told me.
Or was
I
it
read
the one that
about
you told me when we were passing by that there's no going through it? That you can't go inside?
Well,
That's Houdini.
Yeah, there's a lot of folklore in
Juandini.
Channels, but there's the canyon that
Is that what he's
brings-
talking about? Houdini's house?
No.
Oh.
There's a canyon that takes you from the Inland Empire to Orange County. It's like a portal to Orange County. I always jokingly say that, but growing up, there was a lot of stories because they used to test bombs in Chino Hills. So there's a factory there. All sorts of stories with this canyon. But I remember hearing a real story that's fucking pretty unsettling. My friend's aunt used to party in Anaheim, and she would go from Chino, take that canyon. This is back in the 80s. There was like nothing really over there. And she was over there, and she saw like a family walking, because sometimes people will walk through the canyon like during the day, and her car broke down. She saw this family when she was kind of going through there. Her car broke down.
Whose car broke down?
Oh, my friend's aunt.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
it broke down. She was there for a little while, and she's freaked out to try to walk to a call box. She's like a young woman, and there's like a lot of creepos and stuff. So there's a biker bar nearby. So she was contemplating going there, but then she sees that family kind of walk by, and she was like trying to kind of call them, and they like ignored her. And the old woman that was with them wasn't with them. She just trailed off from the old people and came up, and she said that like there's something just weird about the old woman and how she looked. And she went up and started tapping on her window and looked all twacked out, like almost like a tweaker. And she was like, "What the fuck?" And the lady left, and then she got her car. Someone helped her, and she left. Right. The next morning, it was in the newspaper. That the woman was a strange woman found like speaking nonsense, and she had a basket with she had severed human fingers in her backpack or in her basket, and they found out the woman was like she just was like a nomadic weird like drug person.
Where'd she get the fingers? Wendy's?
Yeah. But that creeped me out because that canyon is just
So she might have done
Like,
something
who
wrong
knows,
to that
dude?
lady.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, to someone else, you know.
No.
She could have fucking done something to your friend's aunt.
Cut her fingers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, the aunt. Oh, she could have. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yes. Who
She
knows?
was tapping on the
She was
window.
tapping on the window all
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
And who knows if she would have been like, "What's up, lady?" And the
Let me
lady
get a finger.
She could try to rob
Can I get a
her.
hand?
Yeah. Who knows?
Dude, I had a weird encounter when I was a kid at like a real close encounter and strange encounter at a hotel outside of Yosemite. And anybody listening to this podcast, you might remember this happening. So in California, there was a mother and a daughter that were found murdered, and their car was burned. So they were murdered, and then the guy set the car on fire, and it was fucking torched. Anyway, so it came out that it was this guy. His last name is Stainer. Can't remember the first name. But anyway, so this guy Stainer, he was a repair guy at this hotel outside of Yosemite, and he was basically stalking these two women, and I think he raped them, murdered them, and then burned the car. His brother was a guy named Steven Stainer, who was abducted when he was a little boy, and he was basically held captive for like 20 some odd years. And he escaped from, because as soon as the dude who held him captive got another little boy, and so
shit.
Yeah, so Steven was able to rescue he wanted the boy out of there, so he got him out. But his brother was a handyman at this hotel, and they had this really creepy, weird little bar that had an arcade there, and me and my sister wanted to play in the arcade, and my mom was like, "You are not fucking playing at that arcade. There's the creepiest fucking dudes I've ever seen in my life in that fucking bar. There's no fucking way."
Who said that? Your
my
mom?
She's like, "Don't even go near there." Well, the next day, we had a massive plumbing backup in our fucking hotel. And one of the dudes from that bar the night before was the fucking plumber who was Stainer, who killed those fucking ladies.
No way.
So my mom was like, fucking, when it happened, my mom was like, "Oh my fucking God."
Yeah.
That was the fucking guy.
I got a crazy story. So, okay. So
This is a
Stainer,
spooky episode.
I know, dude.
so Stainer and his brother
Yeah.
were in that arcade.
Yeah.
And
Stainer's brother.
Stainer's brother.
Yeah.
And your mother was like, "Don't fucking go
Yeah,
in
get the
there. These
don't even go
creepers."
in there,
And
yeah.
then he was a plumber at your well. So I've heard this from a friend of mine. Back in the day, I was hanging with these weirdo friends, you know. And they said that every year of the what's her name? Shannon Tate or Tweed? Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's her
name?
Sharon Tate. Yeah.
Sharon Tate. So the Sharon Tate murders, we all know, was, you know, the Manson
murders, yeah.
murders, the cult or whatever. And he didn't actually murder anybody himself.
No.
He actually just kind of like told his cult people to go out and kill people or whatever he did. I don't know the full deal. Well, he has a son. So
Who does? Manson?
Charles
Or-
Manson.
Okay.
Yeah, Charles Manson has a son. This is the creepiest thing ever. So there's these friends.
I did not know that. You guys
Yeah,
did?
you know that? Gnarls
I don't-
Barkley? That's the Gnarls
No, it's
I
not.
didn't know idea. Oh no,
Is it him? No.
So Charles Manson has a
Yeah,
son.
CeeLo Green.
I don't know who, whatever, something. Probably one of the, you know, he was banging all those cult people.
Yeah.
So someone must have, you know, had his kid.
'Cause I know he's got a girlfriend right now. Sort of hot.
Well, he's
Weirdly
dead.
hot.
I
No,
mean,
he's dead.
Oh, Charles Manson?
Yeah,
Is
he
dead?
died. He
Oh,
died.
Probably
well,
did though.
a couple of years back,
He finally
had a
died.
girlfriend. Okay.
I think he was trying to be transported into like a hospital or something, and he died on his way or something.
Yeah.
But what
Is that
was
what
this?
happened
Like at least 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently. Anyway, so every year of the
You
Tate
saw something or what?
No, I was
A
just
ghost.
I was just
Make sure
looking
the
at
lights are
this
working.
light, just like looking at the light.
Starts flickering.
Is one of my kids.
Woo!
Okay.
It's one of the
You have
sperms
kids?
at the fucking
No,
porno-
my ghost kids.
Oh,
yeah.
Remember?
The
So
porn theater.
every year of the anniversary of the Manson murders, okay, the Tate murder, whatever you want to call it, the son and a group of friends go to the El Coyote restaurant.
In the valley?
I think it's located in Hollywood.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the other one.
What?
Oh fuck! It's in the valley. It's on Ventura.
But you're talking about the house where the murder happened.
I know El Coyote.
Or a restaurant?
No, I'm talking about the
Restaurant,
restaurant.
yeah.
It's a Mexican
It's
restaurant.
like it's an institution. It's been there forever. It was in Tarantino's movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
yeah,
I
El
know
Coyote,
exactly what
yeah.
you're talking
El
about.
Coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
El
the guy
Coyote.
singing at the table. I think.
No.
I think that's.
It's old
Oh, I'm
school.
thinking of Casa Vega.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Casa Vega in the valley.
Okay,
Sorry,
but what happens at
but
Coyote?
El Coyote is.
You're
is
talking
a-
about Casa Vega, totally differente.
But what
Yeah.
happens there?
Pero,
every year?
pero El Coyote.
Coyote.
Every year, supposedly, Manson's son and a group of chicks and people go to the El Coyote restaurant on the anniversary date of the murders, and they go and they have food. They don't talk about the murders. They don't. They don't reminisce about the incident, but it's just on the date of the murders.
Yeah.
They go to the same restaurant
Every year.
that Charlie Manson and his followers went. I don't know if Charles Manson. What did I say?
Chuck Manson.
Charles Manson.
Oh, what I said. But yeah, Charles Manson. I don't know if he. The story goes
But was there relation about that Coyote restaurant about the murders?
well because Charles Manson and his followers went there and talked about murdering people
Oh.
and had dinner or something, and then that night the people went out in Hollywood Hills and found that actress and murdered her and whatever else. So it's creepy that they at the anniversary date his son and these people go and they have dinner there.
It is crazy.
Weird.
Like, what the fuck?
It is.
And I went.
On that date?
Because you knew about this.
No. My friend was like, hey, you want to go out to dinner tonight? And I said, sure.
And it was that date?
We're going with a group of friends.
Oh, you went to that dinner?
And
to
I was
that table?
And I was like, okay. I ended up having dinner with Charlie Manson's son
Really?
and their friends
Were they weird as fuck?
on the night
But you
on
know,
the anniversary
but you know what
date.
they're talking about. What are they talking about? A Manolo exclusive.
That was good. They weren't talking about shit. I mean, I guess they didn't really talk about the murders or nothing. They weren't like so, but it was weird that like they're like, hey, come to this dinner tonight. I had no idea that it was on the anniversary date of the murders for the the Manson murders, and I couldn't believe that I'm sitting amongst Charlie Manson's son.
Did you know he was Charlie Manson Jr. when you were sitting there or after the fact?
When I got there, I don't know if they said do not talk about the Manson murders tonight or whatever, but I'm like, what is going on here? And they're like, oh, tonight is the actual anniversary of the, and every single year we come here with him and we have dinner. And I'm like, what the fuck? So like, I didn't know that that's what I was getting myself into until I was already there.
Well, so were you there with his first son, Charles Manson Jr.?
Probably.
I guess
Is this
so.
him?
Charles Manson Jr. There's Valentine Michael Manson and Charles Luther Manson.
I think it was Michael Manson. I think maybe. I'm not sure exactly.
Valentine Michael Manson. Oh boy.
So was there anything weird about the I mean, besides that, but while you guys were talking or something, was it just weird or was it chill?
The reason why I just brought this up is because we're talking about murders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was sitting among Charles Manson's son.
Yes.
On
anniversary.
every year they go to this El Coyote restaurant, Mexican restaurant in Hollywood, and they go eat. And that's exactly the same place that the Manson murder people plotted that murder. So, it was so long ago that I was there that I really don't recall what the fuck we were talking about. I think everybody was just talking amongst themselves, and he was there. But I don't think anyone was chatting it up about the murders. I'm not sure.
They had like a cake. Anniversary, what your dad did.
I'm reading here that it looks like Charles Manson's firstborn son really couldn't handle being his son and even tried to change his name, but he didn't find any solace. He really tried to escape his father in a lot of respect.
Yeah.
That's really sad, dude.
Yeah, I think he hated...
Put his girlfriend, just so you can see her. I found her hot.
Oh, Charles Manson's girlfriend?
I think that was the thing that they didn't want to...
Charles Manson's last girlfriend.
But they didn't want to talk about the...
But that's so trippy.
I mean...
Look at her. Right? But look what happened.
Jesus Christ. Oh, boy.
Si puedes, pon la foto de la novia de Charles Manson aquí. Y la novia,
She
por favor.
definitely has some...
I'm telling my editor.
Sí, yo sé, pero tu personas sabe...
no, it's not live, just for when he edits.
Sí, yo sé. Pero tu personas está... ¿Cómo se dice? Watching este episode.
Of course. Everybody.
Sabe...
Charles Manson?
Sí.
Of course. Who doesn't know? He's worldwide. Okay. Is that the story? Because I want to tell another story
that is the story. I sat there. I don't know why the fuck I even brought it up.
Dude, I got a fucking crazy. I got a crazy one too. You guys ever heard of the guy named Ramon Salcedo?
Yeah,
What?
he's a giant.
Put a picture of Ramon right here too.
¿Tú sabes?
No,
Oh, you know
no.
Ramon, right?
The porn star Ramon.
Oh, don't put that photo.
Yeah,
See?
Oh, you know Ramon then?
So
I don't know.
Yeah, you know Ramon. He was like,
Yeah.
don't put that picture.
I didn't know him either until they showed me a picture, and I was like staring at his face, and they're like, I'm like, oh my god, they got a giant. He's got a huge dick.
Who showed you a picture?
I think it was Manolo. Anyway, so this guy,
My screensaver.
a different
He looks like
Ramon.
a Goomba from the Mario Brothers movie.
So, a different Ramon Salcedo. He was infamous for murdering all of his kids and
Great.
dumping them into the dump.
What state?
California.
Course,
It was near my
course.
hometown, and I was at my friend Dave's shop up north. Dave is I've known him my entire life. So I'm at Dave's shop, and Dave gets all kinds of interesting characters there. He's like, everybody goes to Dave's shop, no matter like if you're rich, poor.
What is it, a tire shop?
No, it's like a weird. He sells everything. A lot of people call
The
it.
store.
Oh, it's
lot
a
of people-
store. Una tienda.
Yeah, it's where whenever I have stuff that I don't quite know what to do with,
Oh.
I give it to Dave. Anyway, so Dave,
We were talking about Dave all day, and I'm like, who's
Yeah.
Dave and what shop? And I'm talking auto mechanic shop.
yeah, no,
I know what you're talking
Dave's
about.
store. He's got 2 stores. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm at a store, and there's this girl in there who has. So one of the kids lived, and they were found her in the dumps, and like her 2 sisters.
girl, yeah.
It's a girl. Her 2 sisters were dead. And Ramon Salcedo was her dad, and he was put away for a long time. I think he probably was sentenced to the death penalty at that point. But regardless, I see this girl at Dave's store, and she is fucking. Her face is all fucking scarred up,
Yeah.
and she leaves, and Dave goes, "You know who that was?" I go, "No idea." And he was like, "That's Ramon Salcedo's daughter." I'm like, "Fuck, dude." I'm like,
Did you
"Man."
talk to her?
No.
No.
But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, imagine every day waking up.
Looking
No-
at your face.
looking at your face, like knowing exactly what happened to you and your fucking whole family,
Why is your face scarred up?
because he like brutally slashed the fuck out of all the kids. Yeah,
Oh,
That's brutal, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking intense.
fuck.
yeah. And
So
I'm like,
she
wow,
was the sole survivor.
she was the only survivor. Yeah,
Dude, I gotta ask you this though before we end.
we're
this.
talking about Ramon.
No, Chupacabras.
I got one last story though. I got one last
Chupacabras.
story
Okay.
before that because
Goat suckers?
Listen, while we're talking about this, right? This story that I'm about to tell, it should be turned into a Netflix fucking documentary. Where I live, it's a little where I grew up. It's a small, really small, like I don't know, I want to say 4,000 people. Or the town, it's like it's right next to the beach, you know, playas, right where the bull
Yeah,
ring's
I know
at.
exactly where it is. Yeah,
There's a bull ring right next to
you know
the
what
beach.
we're talking about?
No, say.
So you know where? Have you been to the like beaches near like Chula Vista, like all the way down?
Sí, chance, pero yo no me acuerdo.
So if you look across like down the way, if you look south, you'll see like a big bullfighting ring.
Wow.
Down at the ocean, like on the coast. You don't know this?
No.
It's next to the ocean. Where that's where I grew up.
Sorry.
But here's the story. The girl that I talked about, right?
Uh-huh.
That girl, she had friends, right? She had a lot of friends. She had a Russian friend. Was a girl.
It's probably hot.
Well, she was young. She was like 18, maybe, right? She was really young. This is a few years back, right? Well, a lot of years back, but she was blonde or whatever. And she was cool. I don't know if Lomanchenko or something like that. Some weird name, last name, right? Okay. So her dad was Russian and her mom was Russian, and they ended up living in Playas de Tijuana, which is that small little town. Okay, cool. The dad divorced. He became the parents divorced. The dad became like a teacher for one of the universities in TJ, right? Okay, cool. So the mom, the 18-year-old girl, and a smaller girl who had like some sort of syndrome or whatever. She couldn't really move that well. The little kid. She was probably like 6. The other little sister. Okay. My sister has a house right next to their house, right? So we were rebuilding that house. One time I saw this blonde girl pass, which is weird because you don't see a lot of white people there, but you could tell that she's not white. She's Russian, right? But she was hot, like really hot, right? She wasn't that old. She was probably like 50, right? And she was past me, and she would just wave like, "Hey, hi, neighbor," right? Because we're the guys fixing up the house right next door. Okay, cool. So the story goes like this: the girl. The 18-year-old girl starts hearing voices, right? So all of a sudden, She grabs a knife, slashes the mom's throat.
The woman that you met.
And the woman is the mom.
The woman that you waved to.
Waved is the mom. So she gets her throat slashed in that house. Against her throat slashed. And then she proceeds to decapitate her and cut her limbs, all whilst the other kid is watching.
Kid?
Yeah, the 6-year-old kid is watching. She decapitates him and cuts off her limbs or whatever, chops him up to pieces. Yeah, but not pieces, just arms, legs, head, right? And then proceeds to do the same thing to the kid. Okay, cool.
The kid watches and then she does it to the kid.
And then she does it to the kid, to
Holy
her sister.
shit.
Okay, cool.
The 18-year-old Russian girl.
Yes, to her mom and to her sister. So after that, after she does that,
I'm gonna have fucking nightmares at night.
and after she does that and has all the body parts or whatever, she says, "Oh, stop watching me! Stop watching me!" So she takes out their 4 eyes and flushes down the toilet. Okay, cool. So that happens, right? And she leaves them there. She leaves them there. She leaves the kids there or whatever. She goes out partying or whatever and starts telling all her friends, "Oh, I just murdered my mom," or whatever. And shit. You're crazy, right? Because she used to smoke weed and drink or whatever with the friends, with my ex-girlfriend too, you know? So that's what happens. Then they find out that these people are murdered, right? Okay, so they grab the bodies or whatever. I know they actually found them inside trash bags. So the cops find them, but they don't arrest her, right? Because she claims that she doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
People see her walking the streets because this is a small town, and some guy actually interviews her on YouTube. It's on YouTube, and goes like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, my parents got murdered, and I murdered them because they were witches, and she did put that spell on my sister, and they were watching me." This is on YouTube. Some kid that found her on her beach smoking and drinking.
Ay.
You know? Okay. So after that happens, people are like, "Why aren't you arresting this girl who just admitted that she killed them?" Because there's nobody's like, what do you call it?
Seen it.
No, it's not that. It's because they need to. It's not called suit, but somebody needs to be against you. You know?
They need to file a law,
yes,
file
exactly.
charges.
Exactly. There's no charges against her.
Because they're Russian people.
Something weird like
weird,
that.
yeah.
So she was like 2 weeks just free smoking, partying or whatever. Eventually they got her.
Jesus.
And when they got her, some lawyer went like, "Oh, I'll defend you." And she started saying, "No, it was just some narcs, some drug dealers that killed my mom and my little sister."
Wow.
I mean,
Change
why?
the story.
Yeah, but she's in jail now. And I'm telling you that needs to be a fucking.
That's
This is
fucking evil,
weird,
dude. And you met those people.
I met those people. I met the girl. I met the mom, and the dad's like.
How many
right there,
years later did she get arrested?
No, it was just like 3 weeks after that. You know?
Oh, well, that would be a very short documentary.
Yeah, but I know. But
Yeah,
what
but
was
what's leading up to like,
what's
and
going on?
there is something that could be made into like a really interesting, weird. I mean, they could like take that and like stretch it a little bit.
Get the girl
and do
from
all kinds of.
Get the girl from
Smile.
Inventing Anna and what's the show with Jason Bateman and she always says the voices.
Arrested Development? Or
no, the girl that I remember raves about her voices and her characters.
I don't know,
but she kind of gets real into everything she does. Like I could see her being
I don't know.
a Russian girl. I forget.
you
She
love
won
this.
awards. I forget her name, but
All
she's
I'm
a
thinking
character
is that
actor.
some fucking violent schizophrenia, or I don't know what.
it had to be.
That's
Yeah, some
complete
weird
personality.
So, are you trying to wrap this one up?
No, I'm good. But
Okay.
but if let's.
No, I could go all night. I wanted to ask you guys. So
Randy's like, "Fuck."
since we're on that, like we're on this, like
I don't
we're
know
talking
where
about
to go.
spooky shit and all that stuff, and we kind of like touch into movies. I actually wanted to ask all you guys. Now I know you're not a horror movie fan. However, I wanted to ask each of us. I want to say, I want to ask, what's the least the most underrated and the most overrated Halloween movies of all time? Not just like it could be the movie Halloween, but what is the most underrated and overrated Halloween movies of all time? Underrated and overrated.
Can you start? Because I don't know what the...
Okay, so I'm going to start with overrated. I would say the most overrated Halloween movie is going to be Hocus Pocus.
I knew you were
that fucking movie sucks so bad.
Hocus
Hocus Pocus.
But that ain't even horror, is
Halloween.
No, I was Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay. Just
about
about
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah,
It needs to
yeah.
be about
Halloween
Halloween.
movie.
Halloween
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Hocus Pocus is something that's celebrated by all kinds of fucking Disney queers all over the world, and they think they're so fucking unique and original because they like this fucking movie because Bette Midler's in it or whatever. I don't fucking know.
We're
It is such a
witches, girls.
It's so stupid, and it's like
really?
it's a movie that I had on VHS growing up. I watched probably fucking 30 times. I could not tell you what the fuck happens in that movie because it's so fucking bad.
I know the underrated movie you're going to say.
Overrated, underrated.
Yeah.
So the movie it's underrated in certain circles. I would say that they just came out with part 2. Underrated, not my favorite, but underrated.
Oh.
Terrifier. Terrifier is a Halloween movie.
First.
The Terrifier is a Halloween movie. It takes place on Halloween, and the start of the movie follows these 2 girls that encounter this weird, fucking creepy looking clown, and he's kind of following them into this pizza parlor, and then, as most Halloween movies fucking go, all mayhem breaks loose. So Terrifier is definitely the most underrated Halloween movie. Even though it's, as far as a movie goes, it's not like the most amazing flick in the entire world. But it's still like,
you're gonna stump us on this one.
That's good though.
I got mine.
Underrated and overrated. There's so many Halloween. Let's look up a list.
I got your overrated and underrated. Here's my list. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Witches a Halloween movie?
Sounds like it.
You've seen Witches that people turn into, or I don't know if it's called
Witches.
Witches.
Scared the shit out of me too as a kid.
You know which
Jim
one I'm
Henson.
talking about?
Jim Henson.
That they turn into something, right?
Angelica Houston.
Yes. What's the name
Oh,
of it?
dude, Is
that a Halloween movie?
Witches.
There's Witches. Yeah, that's a kind of a Halloween.
That's underrated to me.
Halloween-esque.
That's underrated to me because it's entertaining.
What's
really entertaining.
Okay,
Witches.
that's underrated.
Underrated.
Over.
Overrated. You're gonna love this one. Every Halloween movie after the first one. The first one was cool for what it did.
Oh, Halloween.
Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, overrated.
I mean, you're right
Thompson,
in a
Mike.
lot of respects. I mean, I think that they're kind of. I mean, Halloween 2 is not very good. Halloween
Number 1, what
3
it did? Oh fuck! It changed the world.
Well, I mean, John
Yeah.
Carpenter's kind of a
Okay.
fucking genius.
Let's go here because you're talking about that. Can I say something?
There's a lot of Halloween movies, by the way.
Fuck you! You're gonna say
No.
Say something? Fuck you!
No, John Carpenter, okay, who directed the first Halloween movie.
The Witches, by the way.
He did not want to direct another one.
No.
So then he had someone else. So someone else, went ahead and I guess directed the second one. The reason why John Carpenter didn't want to do the second one is because back in the day, that's when all the blood, gore,
Yeah.
like gore horror,
Yeah, more
that how you
gore
say it?
slasher.
gore slasher, blood, whatever. If you see the first Halloween movie,
There's no blood.
there's no blood. Even when she pokes his eye out in the thing, I don't think he bleeds, maybe a little bit, whatever. But there wasn't any wait a minute. No, the first one he stuck a knife through the guy's stomach and held him up on the thing.
And no blood.
No blood again. So then they wanted it to be more bloody, the second one. So John Carpenter said, "No, that's not my style. I'm not doing that."
Behind the scenes.
Anyway, so we were talking about Halloween. Anyway, so there was no blood, and then it just got more ridiculous. Okay, I don't know. I know of a Halloween movie that's underrated, but I don't like it that much. It's Halloween 3.
Halloween 3 is definitely underrated in its own
It's an
respects.
underrated Halloween movie.
Yeah.
But I underrated. That's what people say, but I don't really like it. Overrated.
No, dude. Watch it again, man, and watch it for what it is.
I think I need to
pretty
watch
fun.
it for what it is because I'm waiting for Michael Myers and I'm waiting for the Boogeyman.
Is that the movie where the Desperate Housewife was on?
No.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
first Halloween.
So the Halloween,
Yes.
Halloween,
She was the little girl in the first Halloween.
There's another one where he said where Michael Myers is actually looking for the little kid.
Michael Myers isn't in Halloween 3. Season of the Witch is. So John Carpenter
Or am I
was
thinking 4?
number 4 was with the ones with the blonde girl, and that was kind of her thing. Anyway, but number 3 was about they had the masks, and the masks
And
fucking
every
baked
time
into
the
kids'
song
heads.
came on the TV, the kids would I don't know, they put on a mask or something and then their faces would melt.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, the
Oh,
heads
you know
would
what? I actually
explode.
saw that and it was pretty entertaining.
It's
yeah,
great.
well,
Pretty
that's the thing.
entertaining,
It's an underrated
entertaining.
Halloween, not Halloween the series, but
Halloween
But is it,
movie.
okay, can
Halloween.
we agree that
I think that's a great pick, dude, because it is a Halloween movie.
it's a Halloween movie.
And it is in a lot of respects underrated because everybody thought it was going to be a Michael Myers.
But
Right.
do you think
whole-
it should be on the same series as
Yes.
all the
Oh
Halloweens?
yeah. I loved it. It's a part of history.
It should be a different.
because
right? You know what I'm saying, right?
It's called something else.
Season of the Witch.
It's called Season of the
Halloween
Witch.
season.
It was
there you
supposed to be American Horror Story, basically, where there's different movies about different things.
Yes. So
And that would have been cool.
yeah, it would have been cool, and that was also kind of popular at the time with with movies like oh God, what am I trying to
Creep Show.
Creep Show, and like all
Tales
these
from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. Well, yeah, Tales from the later, but like even what was the one that came up before Creep Show?
Oh, I got it.
With
Wait.
with the one that
Sorry.
where John Landis, the Rick
Twilight Zone.
and
That's
there was
exactly what I
there was
wanted to
another one.
say.
The best movie, Twilight
Yeah.
Zone. The best movie.
Yeah, that
Should have been a lot better.
Wait, so we did underrated and we did overrated.
Yeah,
Is
underrated
it
and
still
overrated.
recording?
Yeah.
And then what would be your underrated and overrated?
But I got underrated. I didn't get overrated.
Oh, what's your overrated? Scream? That's not. I wouldn't say that's.
You know what? I think Scream did a lot.
Scream was great.
I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have it.
It fucking changed
I
the
don't
way
have
people started making movies.
I know. I would say overrated, but I don't have an overrated Halloween.
There's got to be one.
But I do say that an underrated.
Like what?
An underrated horror movie for me also would. I don't know if it's horror or Halloween-ish. Would be Twilight Zone, the movie.
Underrated?
Overrated?
Under.
Yeah.
So I picked two
No.
unders.
That was the best movie.
I loved it. With all the
was
different.
Was it Dan Aykroyd? Like, let me show you your
Yes.
face.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's in
Oh my
the
God.
he's like an EMT or whatever.
It's just-
No, that's
It's
the
Bus
end of the
driver.
plane. But when he's in the car and they're doing the Credence song, and then he bites the guy's face off.
So
I'm
cool.
thinking is the time when I saw it. I was like 8, 9 or something.
Dude,
like
I'll
that.
tell you
It
what.
impacted
I'll tell you
me.
what. With that, there's that one. The guy was racist, and they put him in a Nazi fucking.
Yeah, I
And
remember
then
that.
the death that took place during that short, people died.
What?
Two kids. He died.
What?
That guy died.
The main actor?
What?
You didn't know that? Yeah.
During the
It's wild.
filming?
Yeah,
Yeah.
John Landis had to go to court for it.
Yeah.
He was killed. They were doing John
helicopter
Landis.
scene?
Yeah, the helicopter got way too low and it sliced
Well,
that actor. And two
wait,
kids' heads
really?
off. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else
Was I thought that was Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone.
Zone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Where he's racist.
Yeah, but I
they
know,
finished
okay.
the short like.
I know. I thought that was for some
I
reason.
thought that was
I thought
his
that
real life.
No, I thought that was Poltergeist for some reason. That
No.
happened.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
it was
John
on,
Landis.
It was on that.
It was
Yeah.
on the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guy in the helicopter kind of crashed.
Yeah,
they killed
yeah.
him.
He kept wanting to get it lower and lower, and like it was not. The helicopter pilot was like, dude, it's just the way the helicopter was just not. It wasn't
set up
going
for
to
that.
work. Yeah,
He crashed.
and yeah, he got like off kilter, and then fucking boop, and then it sliced off. It decapitated. I think it was Vic Morrow and the boy.
Oh my god!
And there was like child labor law violations that were going on as well, and it was like because John Landis, he was he's a hard director, and
Yeah.
he pushes people.
Yeah.
And so it was an unfortunate accident. It's really sad.
that kinda
Happened out
reminds
in
you-
Santa Paula.
and then John Landis is the guy who also directed the first Beverly Hills Cop.
He did Beverly Hills Cop 3, which is dog shit.
Okay, so hold on. So there was a thing. Sorry, I don't know why I'm going off kilter. Sorry.
No, you're not going off kilter at all.
So John Landis, him and I thought it was him and Eddie Murphy did the first Beverly Hills Cops, and then they had like some kind of a dispute, and then John Landis and him like stopped becoming friends or something, and then he actually came back and did it again.
So it was directed. It looks like it was directed by Tony Scott, and let's see, Beverly Hills Cop #1.
I don't think I even seen that movie.
Oh, dude, it's so
Beverly Hills
good.
Cop. Is it
One of
that
these
number
days,
one, right?
man, we'll have like a movie night and we'll watch
It'd be
Beverly Hills
fun.
Cop.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop, honestly, like, so I watched it.
So what was the movie that John Landis and Eddie Murphy worked on initially, and then they both had two big personalities, and
Well, that was one of them. So cast and crew. Let me see right here. So let's see. Where
like they
was
had,
the
like
additional crew?
it was the director and the actor, and they had that's it. John Landis directed Beverly Hills Cop 3.
3. Yeah.
Okay, and then he was set to.
Which is it's such a terrible movie.
And Coming to America was also directed by
John Landis. Yeah.
So that's
that
what
was
happened.
cool. Coming to
Yeah.
America is a good
Oh
movie.
shit! So so I got it. So when did Beverly Hills Cops 3 come out?
Oh, it was like
80
90.
something?
No, it was
Oh,
like 1994.
Okay, so this is great. So I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. We were talking about movies this whole
Yeah,
time.
let's do it.
No, I like that.
So John Landis directed the most underrated Halloween movie that I thought, The Twilight Zone, the movie.
He was one of the directors.
One of the directors. Check this out. So, John Landis, there was an accident on the set of The Twilight Zone, the movie. Okay, and we just talked about that.
Yes.
Well, John Landis was going through the court battles for this for many years, and he thought that because he worked with Eddie Murphy on Beverly Hills Cops 3 and other actors and stuff, that they would come to his defense and help him out in the court case.
Well, it wasn't Eddie Murphy. It was Steven. A lot of people spoke against him. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, but no, so John Landis felt that everyone turned their backs on him. Actors, other producers, other directors.
I mean, in a lot of respects, Hollywood did turn their back on John Landis.
Right, because I mean, come on, because he was a scumbag.
Well,
whatever. Okay, he was
who he was, but
I'm trying to get this point out.
Sorry.
So John Landis, who directed The Twilight Zone, the movie, that I said was underrated. Someone died on his set. He had to go to court. He also directed Beverly Hills Cops 3. When he was in the court systems, no one came to his defense. And then years later, coming to America, and somehow him and
Eddie Murphy
worked together again, but they never actually were friends or whatever. They weren't close like they were in 80 whatever when Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out.
I think that Eddie Murphy got him the gig for Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Oh,
okay.
I think. But the thing with Beverly Hills Cop 3 is that Eddie Murphy wanted to take the character of Axel Foley into a different direction.
Yeah.
And not just be like a comedic character.
Right.
And it just didn't work. But I watched Beverly Hills Cop 1 with a person from Russia who had never seen it, a person from London who had never seen it, a girl in her 20s that had never seen it, and then her boyfriend who me and him have seen it a million fucking times. And watching that movie with people that have never seen it from different countries in the world, it hits so fucking hard.
So they love it?
Dude, it was awesome. They were cheering, and it was so cool to see who they all, like the three people who they rallied with, who they really were pulling for. Rosewood, they all love Rosewood.
It's hurting my ass.
And these things are not comfortable.
All I remember is Roxanne. That's from that movie, right?
No, it's not.
Oh shit! No. Isn't he singing Roxanne in jail?
Sting.
No, he was singing Stir It Up. There's some
I thought so.
There's
right?
There's a part where he does sing Roxanne.
He's in jail.
In jail?
Yeah, he's on the floor. I think it's Beverly Hills Cop 1.
I don't know, man.
Roxanne, you don't have to put Eddie Murphy.
I don't think so.
Eddie Murphy singing Roxanne. Let's
see, Eddie Murphy sings.
What is your
and I haven't seen that movie.
Underrated and overrated? Underrated, overrated.
See?
Halloween pictures?
No, that's in Trading Places. Another 48 hours. But you're right. He's sitting on the ground in jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
So yeah, it's tough for me to do an overrated. It's really tough because
why? There's so many overrated Halloween movies.
There is, but
there's so many underrated Halloween movies.
So is Terrifier that's based in Halloween?
That's Halloween, yeah.
So for a horror flick, does it have to be Halloween?
We're talking about Halloween movies. So I would say another underrated, to me, a severely underrated Halloween movie. I don't know why people don't like it.
You don't
have overrated?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I don't know. It's tough because overrated. God,
do your underrated
Halloween Town?
Yeah, Halloween Town. Yeah, was that the Disney
some
one?
Bullshit? Yeah.
For me, oh God, underrated. There's a few of them. I mean,
Friday
that are based.
the 13th is also a Halloween movie.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's Friday. Are we doing something that's based on Halloween or a horror flick?
Friday.
It can be
Sean Cunningham.
I'm thinking like
Sean Cunningham.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's who did the first one.
Movies that are kind of Halloween.
I saw a little documentary about that movie, and I think they actually based it off of Halloween.
Down.
The fuck are you singing?
Woo!
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus.
But I
was just trying to liven up.
But I think I think it's great how the mother is the actual killer, right, on that movie.
On Friday the 13th. Yeah, it's a great twist.
It's a great fucking twist, dude.
Yeah, so Halloween movies, underrated. God, I don't know. The movie that's
if you don't
based
have
on
one,
Halloween.
Who cares?
Well, I love horror movies.
Say,
I can tell you all that, but Halloween itself.
So I would say another overrated Halloween movie
Focus.
is The Crow.
Is that on Halloween?
I mean, Devil's Night.
Got the dribbles to watch.
Well,
so that's Halloween.
I feel like it's kind of just horror movies, right?
No.
horror movies or like goth or like
I was thinking
spooky.
Halloween movies.
Dark movies. No, he's saying Halloween themed specific movie. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
What would be
You
it? What
can
would be
skip it.
an underrated?
I'd say underrated. There's a lot of underrated like horror movies. One of my favorites is.
I mean, you could if you're having a hard time with it, then yeah, whatever.
Yeah, well, I'd say Hocus Pocus is the most overrated of the Halloween
Pee Wee's
movies.
Playhouse. He's gonna say again. Right?
No. Yeah, Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
No, I would
Bad horror
say,
movie.
God, underrated horror flicks.
That would be funny. That would always be your answer. Like, oh, drama. What about drama? Pee Wee's Big Top.
I know. There's a few horror movies I can think of that are underrated to shit.
I got a
like
great
Allison-
great one that's
What's
an
that?
underrated Halloween movie.
What's that?
Fucking, I'll give you a little clue. You know what I mean, Vern?
Ernest.
Well, I love that. Ernest Scared Stupid. That's
yeah.
one of my favorites.
It's very underrated.
Is that you think it's underrated?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. Oh,
How
we're
about a
talking
bumper sandwich,
talking about-
booger lips?
We're talking about overrated.
But I bet that's like a comedy, right? But it
it's-
doesn't
but
matter.
no,
it's about Halloween, right?
It's about
All right.
Halloween.
I'd say another underrated is Tim Burton's Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie was so
the
underrated.
new
The new one.
Frankenweenie was good.
It was awesome.
and it's overlooked.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
What's the name of it?
That's one of my favorites, and that's a
Frankenweenie?
Halloween movie.
Why is that movie so underrated?
It's one of his best later movies.
It's yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
I mean, something
very
with like,
underrated.
Holy shit, they are really into this.
Dude,
yes. I'm
it's-
glad you feel the same.
I've never seen that movie.
Frankenweenie is so well done, and if you watch like the special
It's a
features-
cartoon though. That's why you
well,
wouldn't see it.
it's stop
there you go,
motion.
there you go,
It's
there
stop.
you go,
It's so good. It
touches on.
I won't
some
even see
stuff.
A Nightmare Before Christmas, and I've heard it's great.
Yeah, I think you will, dude. I'll get you into it, man.
I've seen Franken
We'll get
Tits
some lube,
by,
dude.
by
Yeah.
Kendra Lust. Have you ever seen that one?
I
Sounds
think
like a
so.
porno.
Yeah, Franken Tits.
Yeah, I remember.
That's
Be-
so underrated.
I'd say over. No, the Pussy Juice with the Ron Jeremy
Yeah.
was a Beetlejuice parody where he turns into a woman and has sex with a guy.
Yeah.
And then
What?
they wake up. Yeah, it's
Pussy Juice.
My
how
friend's
about-
dad. We
okay,
bootlegged
you've
this
seen
porno.
the Penis Hands.
Edward Penis Hands, yeah.
You never
Oh
seen that?
God, no, guys, you're going down a rabbit
got
hole.
penis
This is a good way to end this. Is on porno.
Great way to end it. So
Yeah.
hey, let's do a recap. Yeah.
Look at this shit, dude, right here. The 40 classic Halloween movies to watch for a scary evening in, and the fucking photo is of goddamn
Midler.
Bette
Hocus
Midler
Pocus.
from fucking Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do people watch that fucking hot diarrhea and think it's good?
Who knows?
I think it was the time that it came out.
No, I really
you
do
know?
It's
think.
entertaining.
I really think that
You've
like,
seen it? Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's not
Never
like
seen
Yeah.
it.
I really think that people see
gotta fart.
that movie and because it's a
Do
Disney
it.
flick,
Let it go.
they
Do
they
it.
just
Put
like
it in the mic.
they just fucking
it's
eat
kinda
it
like
up. Disney
bunch of
people just
cheese.
eat up dog shit all the
Ross,
time.
have you seen The Others?
The others? No, I haven't.
I see you've seen The Others.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. No.
I'll tell you
I
what.
just gave you a gem of a fucking movie.
Have you seen The Black Phone?
I saw Black Phone.
Didn't
I
like
haven't
it.
seen it.
That's a Christmas movie, no?
Christmas?
No?
No, it's a scary movie. It's kind of like a Halloween movie.
But it's not. It's not about Christmas.
No,
It's
dude.
not done at
It's about
Christmas?
the guy that. Okay, so it's about the guy who kidnaps kids, keeps doing this, kills kids, and like you think that it was like I don't know. He's wearing
Yeah.
a fucking mask on his face.
Black Phone.
It's called Black Phone. And
Kid-
the kids were calling the spirits of these kids that he killed. Were calling this black phone that was in this fucking basement, and they were telling the kid like what not to do, and they're like, he's gonna leave the door unlocked one night, and you're gonna want to walk up the stairs and get the fuck out of there. Don't do it. Don't go up those stairs. It's tempting. I get it, but just don't do it. And he didn't do it. And the guy was sitting up top of the stairs with like an axe, waiting to fucking chop the kid's head off. Yeah, the movie. The reason why I didn't like it, and the reason why I thought it was so predictable, was because, I don't know.
Well,
I didn't like it.
It took place in a very small space.
Yeah,
And there was a lot of like inner dialogue with the kid, and it was a lot of like just one room.
Right.
I have such low expectations when it comes to any Netflix movie, especially Netflix.
So that's a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
They
especially
came on the movies, dude.
But you know what? There is.
well, yeah, but
The Black Phone.
It was definitely a Netflix.
There's
movie.
a horror movie.
Meaning
a
it should have
famous
been on
horror movie.
Netflix?
No,
Never-
it was.
oh,
Yeah, it was.
They released it in the theaters.
It was like a very limited release because it came out during COVID.
Netflix.
No, it did not.
Yeah, it did.
It was the Ethan Hawke movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black
right?
Phone. Yeah.
Right after it's COVID, like 2001. We're still.
It was in COVID. It was like to me, I would consider it Black
It literally
Phone.
just happened in like June, July.
I would call it a COVID dump, like big time.
Were you saying they shot it during COVID and it was supposed to be a Netflix film and it was released theatrically?
I think that they had it. It was supposed to be a. It was supposed to be a
Redbox.
theatrical movie, But then they were like, okay, well, this is not. COVID's happening. We're just gonna fucking dump this. This is a Netflix dump.
Did it come out?
Because it was.
Netflix?
Yeah, it really did. I'm pretty sure it came
It
out.
did
on
not.
Netflix.
It was in the movie
theaters,
theaters.
right?
Ross, I
have
know
you,
what you're talking
Rossco?
about.
Have you seen Sleepaway Camp?
Oh yeah, loved it.
Dude, no. Do you know what's a movie that needs to get shout out? Is Deadly Friend. That's a Wes Craven movie. He did it right after Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a weird movie. It's one of my favorites.
What's it called?
It's
Deadly
called
Friend?
Deadly Friend.
Deadly
It's where it's a goofy, like tonally movie where it's similar to Sleepaway Camp, where it almost feels like a like a kid's like comedy. Like there's this whiz kid who basically plays Frankenstein. His girlfriend dies. He brings her back to life, and it's tonally so weird because Wes Craven wanted to make kind of a kids film that's kind of spooky, but the studio's like, what the fuck? You're Wes Craven. You just did Nightmare on Elm Street. Make this scary. And so there's like the deaths in it are like hyper violent. Like, you know, the old lady from the Goonies?
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah, there's a scene where there's like a basketball that gets thrown at her head and explodes. It's so violent.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a kid's movie with gruesome death and sex.
Hell yeah.
It's
I
weird.
need to
And
watch
it's
it.
called Deadly Friend. That's a really underrated movie because it's just a weird movie.
It came out after Nightmare on Elm Street.
In 85.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just throw you guys. I threw you guys a gem of a movie, and you in the others. Watch it whenever you can.
Dude,
think I've seen that
Smile
one.
Aren't they
is my
supposed to do?
favorite.
Are they supposed to do another one of those coming up recently?
The others?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about? Then
I do. Yeah, with
Everyone's
the
seen The
weird
Others.
face. Oh, the
No.
okay. I did see the others, and I went and saw it in the theater, and I fucking hated it, and I ended up walking out of it.
Oh, you didn't see it till the end.
I literally was
problem.
sitting there, and I was
couldn't
like,
make it
oh,
to
I
the
know
end.
exactly what's going to happen here.
I don't know if it's better than The Sixth Sense.
And
like
I said,
that.
well, because it's like, because that's what it is. It's like we're all dead. I knew that was what they were leading up to. I knew that from the fucking.
could tell?
I could tell right away. And so, like the allure of like what's gonna happen, I literally turned to my fucking sister and my buddy, and I was like, "I'm
all
getting
dead.
the fuck out of here. Fuck this." And I walked out and I just smoked cigarettes out in
I
front of
just
the
thought
movie
it was great. If you guys
Dude,
haven't seen it,
It
watch
drove
it.
me batshit.
You know what's cool? Horror movies, there's movies that I like that are like homages to like slasher films and they're fun and it's like, oh, I like this about horror movies. But then there's movies that come along that like really, they're like, they rock you to like, they freak you the fuck out. And Smile is one of those movies that just came out. It
Yeah.
literally got under my skin. It's like, I think it's cool when horror movies like progress and they add elements that have never been in there. And now you're seeing a lot of like psychological stuff that's like really, because Stephen King was kind of the master at like attacking your safe space and getting after real shit. Like a rapist uncle. That's fucking awful, right? That's horrifying. That was in Dr. Sleep, the book. It's so fucking gruesome.
Dr. Sleep was good.
Yeah, but Smile is one of those movies that like it just kind of got under.
Is it that good?
I really
saw
enjoyed
the
it.
publicity, the ads that they were running.
Yeah,
Did you see that or
dude.
no?
Yes, I did.
They're
You know,
all
like
over the
people-
place.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
But I really enjoyed it. It was.
Wait,
it
wasn't there like people like in the like
with the shirt and just
people were like-
smiling weirdly, right?
that was their promotion?
You,
like
you knew that, right?
Was
Like
like
during
in
a
the match-
baseball game, there was just a guy in the stands with the shirt smiling all weird.
and like the
great.
Metro, like they would have place like actors. They would pay people to wear like this red shirt, sit in the Metro bus, and just smile the whole time.
Creepy.
And people were just like filming these people.
I
And they're
love
like,
it.
what the fuck is this? And
I
then
love
it
it.
started going all over. And there was a girl behind
Yeah.
the umpire in a Dodgers game or something,
Yeah.
and she was just smiling, and she was wearing the red shirt from the movie.
but really
Wow.
freaky.
Hey, we should go. We should go see it right now, dude.
This is the
It's playing at the
I
Highland Park
kinda-
fucking
I'd be
little rat
down,
house
dude.
over here.
Is it that good?
I loved it.
be down right now to go.
Yeah, I'd be down to go.
Ross ain't going. He's
I
going
had
to
so much
sleep.
fun, dude.
I'm going to sleep. Can you tell?
I know. No, but yeah, those movies like that excite me. Those are the movies that I really appreciate.
What are you
That
looking up,
one
Ross?
was good.
I was looking up earlier.
The others, watch it. I'm telling you.
why Black Phone?
It Follows.
But it all depends because it seems like you guys really like that. That's like this one's more like drama, and then at the end you get that twist. You know.
I like,
this is
I
gonna
like
be-
gore. I like blood. I like fucking gruesome, grotesque, fucking gnarly shit. And in fact, to a certain point, like I was watching the new House of Dragons. I don't know if you guys have seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
It's kind of like Lord of the Rings.
no, it's Game of Thrones spinoff.
Whoops. Game of Thrones.
The Valerian blood.
Dude, yeah. And I think I'm like 4 or 5 episodes deep in it, but there's this one scene, not to spoil anything if you haven't seen it, but there's this one scene where they fucking Oh boy, they slice a baby out of this fucking woman, and it is fucking gnarly.
Whoa.
It's gnarly.
Game of Thrones has always been pretty brutal.
Well, they do a C-section,
call it a
right?
TJ C-section, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, they had like a compilation
Fuck,
out
dude.
for like
Wait,
abortion.
did they slice it from the hoo-ha or the stomach?
Stomach.
Wait, have you guys seen Rosemary's Baby?
Yeah, sure.
Fucking
I
love
loved
that
it.
movie.
I just saw it. I loved it.
It's great.
I loved it. I went like, whoa.
The house
now I
party.
get it.
You ever seen Hereditary?
I have, yeah. Yeah, I have.
That
It's
one,
like
Hereditary.
Rosemary's Baby
It's-
on steroids.
Yeah.
Yes. But I prefer Rosemary's Baby. There was just something about the look, the 70s thing. and
Mia
all that.
Farrow.
Hereditary is
Yeah.
my favorite. Hereditary is one of my top 10 favorite movies.
That thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're telling us.
Yeah,
love that movie
Hereditary,
so much.
Smile, It Follows. There's some like great horror
How about
movies.
Insidious?
Insidious. I love Insidious. James Wan is
I
one
like
of
it
my
all.
favorites, dude.
I like
There's
it.
so many of the new horror movies that people were like, "Man, you got to see the Conjuring." I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking see that, and I see it. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Conjuring
fun.
2, man, fucking gotta see Conjuring 2. I'm like, okay.
Let me
it's
tell you one
fuck.
movie they should stop making.
What's
Okay? What the fuck? This whole podcast, we're supposed to be talking about Ghost.
The movie.
I'm so glad we're not talking about
It's all
ghosts. It's such a
Halloween.
fucking corny thing. I hate ghosts.
Okay, so we didn't talk about Ghost. We talked
did.
about scary things, Halloween.
Whoopi
Charlie
Goldberg.
Manson's son. Whoopi
It's
Goldberg.
Hocus
Pocus.
Patrick Swayze.
Ghosts, yeah.
But one of the
Demi Moore.
movies that they should stop making altogether, I truly believe, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Did anybody see the last one?
Keep it
Yeah, I did. It was like, nah.
lame, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
Do they have
it makes you not even want to.
You're
watch
looking
the
like it was
first-
good.
Yeah,
are
probably.
you talking about
no.
the one where they took the bus
Yeah.
The
yeah.
short
To the
bus.
town
to the town?
Yeah.
to buy the town. All the
Oh, God.
influencers
It was-
were taking over the
that was
town.
fucking ridiculous.
This is fucking
That was
unbelievable.
So stupid.
Why?
Do
on
they take a
God's
selfie
green earth-
with Leatherface?
It wasn't
You know
even.
what she said, right?
Yeah, and there was this.
I don't
Like,
know.
you're going to get canceled or something. That there, it's real bad.
When he
there-
was killing all the people inside the bus,
Bus,
though, and they
yeah.
couldn't run, that was kind of whoa.
yeah, but
haven't
it just
seen it
it was
yet.
just. And then
What's
some of
it
the
on?
shit- It's on.
Netflix?
I think it's
You can
Netflix.
see it
Yeah,
anywhere. It's fucking.
it's
ridiculous.
really bad, dude. Don't
On
even
Netflix,
waste your
ridiculous.
time.
what would you recommend on Netflix for a good horror movie?
Oh my
better
god!
horror
Going
movie
that
on
way.
Netflix?
Not
Get-
the Black Phone, because that's maybe it's on Netflix now.
Well,
but-
There's something on
it's
there.
It was in the
Babadook or
movie.
whatever. It's
Babadook.
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 Whatever. That's
I
a
loved
good
I
movie.
love that
Babadook.
movie.
Yeah, it was
What?
good.
That's a horror.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like an Australian
Really good, yeah.
Mama
film.
Duke.
Babadook.
So much-
Babadook.
It was really good.
Marmaduke with the dog. Yeah.
So I definitely
No.
wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't recommend Hubie Halloween.
Yeah. Maybe not. That's
Oh, God.
that
What
was-
would you recommend on Netflix?
On Netflix?
It's a horror movie.
I haven't watched Netflix horror movies in a minute.
There's probably a lot of good stuff. I mean, that makes it.
Obviously not.
I've
Texas
heard that the
Chainsaw.
call's pretty good. It's I don't know if it's Korean or something,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
that it's
What are you looking up there,
cool.
boss?
I know
Um,
Split's
horror
on
movies.
there. You know
Yeah,
Split. Remember Split?
I enjoyed Split.
Yeah.
Hey, but they are going to come out, like I said before earlier on, new Poltergeist. So that might be neat.
Just a remake of the
guess
first
so.
one. Yeah, the original. Have you seen Poltergeist 2?
The original?
I liked it, and it entertained me.
Is that the one where the kids' braces fucking come out and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh.
I mean, it's entertaining.
Did that Drake the Worm? Is that the second
I
one?
think that's it. Yeah.
I
just
always
like-
forget the second one for Poltergeist. It's
But it's cool because you go back to the 80s. Everything's 80s. 80s are authentic.
were there's
I think the best genre for horror is sorry, what's the only
oh no that's fine.
80s.
Totally.
Well, it's because 80s they were really doing practical effects to the nth degree. That's why I like Terrifier. Is because Terrifier is like, oh yeah, it's like,
We got to watch The Entity. That's the ghost rape movie from the 80s.
oh yeah. I think I tried to watch that.
It's pretty wild.
I think I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's
it's
kinda like,
it was kind of ahead of its time though, because it wasn't like it was kind of a different vibe. It was more like a feminist movie because like if you put yourself in a being a woman and then getting raped by a ghost, it's fucking horrible, dude.
So I'm looking-
or a guy getting raped by a ghost.
I'm looking
whatever.
up. I'm looking up Netflix horror movies, and out of all of them that I'm seeing here, the only one that I would recommend, which isn't even that great, but I would recommend The Green Inferno, which is an Eli
Green
Roth.
Inferno.
Yeah.
Is
That
that good?
movie's. I enjoy
It's
it.
all right. I mean,
Okay,
it's
I'll give you one. I'll give you one
cool.
that's good that I know that you haven't seen
On Netflix?
It's a Spanish movie. Guillermo del Toro. You know Guillermo del Toro,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, the orfanato,
The
Orphanage.
orphanage. Yeah, the orphanage.
or the-
Have
Yeah,
you
he
seen
just
that movie?
produced that one.
I've seen that. I saw The Orphan.
The
No,
Orphan
no,
or
not the
Orphanage.
The orphanage. We're talking about.
I think
the
he
orphanage.
produced that one.
I think he directed it.
The guy who directed it did something
So you've
else.
seen it?
Yeah.
What happens to the kid?
I can't tell you. I don't remember, but I liked it when
It's
I
good.
saw it. Yeah.
Watch it. It's Sixth Sensey.
Yeah, I think that.
I'm standing up because this chair is really hurting.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
that's
yourself.
all right. Dude.
You guys
Fucking
wanna call it a
don't
rap or
do
what?
that, boss. Oh, are we still gonna do third wheel?
Let's see.
The mic.
9:30. If we're gonna do it, it needs to fucking fly.
Conjuring 2.
What the fuck's third wheel?
Comedy open mic thing, Santa Monica.
Oh yeah, you guys got a trek out there.
Yeah, I don't know if we're
You're
gonna
gonna
make
do it right
it.
now tonight?
We were going to.
Holy
I don't
shit
think
ass.
so anymore.
Oh, is your phone out? No. Oh yeah.
What
time does it start?
Whatever. It starts. We need to sign up at 10. It's 9:30. I don't know if we're gonna make it, yo.
Oh yeah, it's a trek over there.
Where?
You might be
Monica
to
sucks.
Santa Monica from here.
You guys are gonna do a comedy thing tonight?
We were thinking about it. I don't know if we're gonna.
So
be
let's
able
say
to.
it's at 10. I'll tell you right now if it's even worth it. Right now.
It's been a pretty epic episode, dude. We got to talk about a lot of stuff, man.
Ghost stories.
Yeah.
What
It's
else?
a
What
spooky
else?
show.
No, don't go into that. So we talked about ghost stories.
Chupacabras.
We never talked about that. Wait,
Goat suckers.
We're 12 minutes from there.
How many?
We would 12 minutes. We would arrive like boom, just in time. I don't know if you want to.
12. What's this place called?
Third wheel.
Never been there?
It's on Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about
Sorry,
going
on
out to
s-
That's
Santa
pretty
Monica.
damn close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, wrap this thing up and go.
What do you think?
We can just try it.
Third wheel.
Let's do it, right?
Yeah.
Fucking gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so Randy, Madden, we love having you here. It's your first time here at the Manolo Pod. What
Yeah, bro.
Something to say to the
Dude,
people?
you're right there, bro. Yeah.
Let's do it, right?
Muchas gracias para todos. Mi corazones para todos. Y happy Halloween.
Yeah. Feliz Halloween.
Feliz happy Halloween. Feliz
Thank you,
Halloween.
Randy. Where can people find you?
Everywhere. Just look up at Randy Madden on Instagram and everything else.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Randy in the wild.
We got our friend Robert Thompson. Something, a little words with
Look
the
right in the
English
camera
accent
and
or
say
with the old timer accent that you got to say to the people.
Well, I love y'all. You can all find me at the store. I like to shop at the pornography store. I like to get all them films where you see all the women and they get their buttholes farted on.
Thank you. I'm tired. It's been a while since I took an improv class, but yeah, you can find me on Robertland podcast everywhere. Thank you, Manolo, for having me. It's been a blast. Happy Halloween.
No, and thank you, sir. And last but not least, again, Rossco Soletrain. What you got to say?
I think I'm going to change my name to Ronaldo. Just for fun. Ronaldo Javier the Third. I don't know why, but you can find me
Anyway.
on Rossco Soletrain on YouTube. I don't like Jack in the Box, but I like to get jacked in my box.
Hell yeah. I like to jack your box.
And then somebody just give a shout out to our boy here.
Hell yeah. So you know what? Thanks a lot for coming to the Manolo Pod once again. And remember, never underestimate how good it feels to feel good. Later. Biatches.
Feel good, baby.
Ronaldo.